Strike three call. It's over.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside beautiful Labatt Park for tonight's contest between the Guelph Royals and the London Majors. Noah Smith joining me alongside Dylan Baker for what is going to be another fantastic game here. Dylan, the playoff push is on. Everyone's looking to try and work their way up and try and find themselves into a better playoff spot. The London Majors are one of those teams.
They most certainly are, and there are quite a few teams in the IBL right now that are looking to make one final push and better their seeding in the playoffs. It's been very tight all around, and the Majors with a win today can put themselves into 5th place, and they would be in line to face the Welland Jackfish, but so much can change with all these IBL teams right now.
If you're looking around the IBL right now, there's roughly 5 games to go for most teams, so still a fair amount of baseball to play, and a lot of changing can be going on in the standings. We're going to go around, talk a little bit about what's going on around the IBL here in this extended pregame show, because, Dylan, there's been one team in the IBL right now who is hotter than any. They've won 8 straight games, and they are 2.5 games out of making themselves into the top 2 in the league. That's the Hamilton Cardinals.
Yeah, the Hamilton Cardinals have been super hot of late. The offense is clicking. The pitching is firing on all cylinders. It's been really good to see if you're a Hamilton Cardinals fan. And they've pushed themselves all the way from 6th place into 3rd place. And that will certainly help them in the playoffs. And they've won 8 straight ball games. They beat Barrie last night, dropping Barrie into 2nd place. They play Kitchener tonight. They're a red-hot team, and they're hoping they don't slow down anytime soon. They're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, me and you were talking before we came on camera that one thing about the Cardinals is, like you mentioned, they got Kitchener tonight. They've already beat Barrie twice in their last 2 meetings. If they can beat Kitchener tonight, they are a legitimate threat in the playoffs to go deep.
They most certainly are, and if they beat the 2 juggernauts in the league, they can go deep in the playoffs. They can go to the 2nd round or maybe even the finals, because right now this Hamilton Cardinals team looks like a legitimate contender for a championship.
The Barrie Baycats, on the other hand, you talked about how Hamilton's won 8 straight. Barrie's dropped 3 straight games for the first time all season, I believe, and have now find themselves in danger of slipping out of the top 2 for the first time all season. They've really got to bring things up in the last few games, and you look at their schedule, Dylan, they're playing a lot of the same teams as well.
Yeah, they are. They play Welland 3 times in their last 5 games, and Welland's actually a team that's given them a bit of trouble this season. They've lost, I believe, one of their 2 games already this season to Welland, and so it'll be interesting to see how they fare in those last 3 games, and those last 3 games are going to decide how they do in their seeding in the playoffs, because they're very close to falling out right now to the Hamilton Cardinals. Obviously, they do have 2 other games that they can win, and that will help them besides the Welland games, but those Welland games are going to go a long way to deciding where Barrie sits when the playoffs begin.
So obviously this time of year, it goes as saying you're not always supposed to be looking at the scoreboard, seeing what other teams are doing, but you can't help yourself when you're in this kind of situation. The playoff push is on, and the Majors, of course, watching the scoreboard as well out of town to see kind of where they're going to be facing up. As it sits right now, the London Majors will be taking on the very hot Hamilton Cardinals in the first round of the playoffs. And Dylan, the Majors have had success against Hamilton this season, but you don't always want to be facing the hottest team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And you look at, for example, the St. Louis Blues in the NHL. They were beat by a lot of teams, but then they got hot at the end, and they beat a lot of teams that they lost to early in the season in the playoffs. And that's the same thing with Hamilton. The Majors are 3-1 against the Cardinals this season. They've got 1 more game against them on Sunday in Hamilton. And you know what? You don't know how they're going to fare because of how hot Hamilton is. And even though the Majors are 3-1 against the Cardinals and all their pitchers have had success, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs.
Exactly, and let's take a look now, while we can, at the standings in the IBL, just to give you a better look at the playoff matchups, of course. Every team making the playoffs in the Intercounty Baseball League, and its seeding goes 1 to 8, 2-7, and so forth. So as it sits right now, as we mentioned, London will be playing Hamilton in the first round. However, that could change and very likely may change as well. Welland and Guelph would be a good series. Toronto and Barrie even could be a good series as well. Toronto has been playing some pretty good baseball despite being in the bottom of the standings, Dylan.
Yeah, they have. Toronto's won their last 2 games. Barrie's dropped their last 3. That could be a fun series. And, looking at it right now, so much can change this weekend. If the Majors sweep all 3 of their games, it's going to be tough to do with opponents like Guelph, Welland, and Hamilton, 3 teams that are ahead of them in the standings. But they could get into 5th place, possibly even 4th. I'm not sure what Welland's schedule is, but they could maybe even get into 4th place this weekend. It's going to be a huge weekend for the Majors.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough schedule for Welland. You talked about how Barrie has 3 games against Welland, 2 of those being a doubleheader in Barrie. So that's going to be 2 tough games on that day to come out of there with a win or 2 if we can for Welland. It's going to be so much to follow. We'll do our best to obviously keep you updated on that. Both me and Dylan will be going on the road to Welland tomorrow to take on the Welland Jackfish with the Majors. That's going to be a pretty exciting game and real playoff implications on the line.
Yeah, for sure. Welland's looking to not drop out of that 3 spot. That's a spot that they, or 3 or 4 spot. It's a spot they like right now because they can have home field advantage through the first round of the playoffs, and that's a spot they're not going to be looking to lose anytime soon, and the Majors could force them out of that spot with a couple of wins this weekend.
Home field advantage, of course, very important in the playoffs, and very important for the London Majors, of course. If you look on the Intercounty website, you go under the standings there, and you look at the London Majors record, a lot better at home than they are on the road, Dylan.
Yeah, and that's a common thing with a lot of sports teams. They prefer playing at home in front of the home crowd, gives them more energy, and it usually brings more success. So the Majors love playing at home. They're a better team at home than they are on the road. So if they can, they'd love to get into 4th place or even 3rd and have home field advantage throughout at least the first round of the playoffs.
Let's take a look now, Dylan, getting out of the around the IVL and moving more in towards tonight's matchup. Here's the starting lineups for tonight that manager Roop Chanderdat will be sending out, switching it up once again.
Yeah, and we've seen that quite a bit with Roop, and today's highlighted player is no one. I don't have a highlighted player for the game today because the offense has been struggling lately. They put up 4 in Toronto, but that was only the 2nd time in their last 5 games that they've put up more than 2 runs. So they've been struggling, and the lineup is as follows. Carlos Artiega leads off, Izzy Pena behind him, Cleveland Brownlee, shortstop, left field, and DH. Byron Reichstein, Mike Ambrose, Kyle Gormandy, who finds his way back into this lineup in right field, behind the dish, and at first base, Yuki Yasuda, who's been phenomenal ever since coming over, Miles Miller in center field, Steve Froese at third base, and Juliandro Higuera is on the mound.
Yeah, Higuera gets back on the mound for another start here. We mentioned the fantastic season that he's been having so far. He will be facing off against this man right here, Dylan, who's no slouch at all either on the mound despite his stats. The Majors have already faced him once this season, have had success against him, but he's got some good pitches that the Majors are going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, they most certainly will. And Junior Yambadas is the starter for Guelph. He's 1-3 with a 5.26 ERA. Don't get fooled by that. He's been trending upward lately after a slow start to the season. And last time he pitched against these Majors, he pitched 2 2/3 innings, allowed 6 runs. Only 4 of them were earned. But it wasn't an ideal outing for him. The thing is, he's been trending upwards. And as you mentioned, Noah, he's got a lot of good pitches that the Majors are going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, we didn't find out until just later on today, really, who the starting pitcher for Guelph was going to be. We both had our suspicions, and I don't think either of us were going to guess that we were going to see Yambadas today, but that is who the Majors are going to be seeing, so we'll see how the lineup goes to it. The Majors, a lot of keys coming into this game, but I think you mentioned the offense struggling. Getting on it early is probably going to be the biggest key to the game for the Majors. Oh yeah, for sure. You got to put runs on the board early and ride that momentum because the offense has been struggling, and if you put runs on the board early, you'll have more success in the game, and that's what they're going to be looking to do against Yambadas, who we know the Majors can attack and beat offensively, but he's been good lately, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. If they get going early, they cannot slow down. Exactly, and we're going to watch that all game long. We'll see what the Majors do facing off against Yambadas. We'll see what Higuera does. It's obviously a big momentum, not necessarily momentum boost, but a confidence boost for the Majors. When you got your ace on the mound, you know that Higuera is going to go out there and give you a strong start. He's been doing it all season long, and they're going to look for him to do it again tonight. Yeah, for sure. And you know what? His last game action was actually a relief appearance against Kitchener in that ball game that the Majors won at Jack Couch. He came in and recorded a 7-out save. He was great out of the bullpen. His last start was against the Barrie Baycats in Barrie on July 14th. He pitched 7 innings, allowed 2 runs. He's been phenomenal all season. He usually goes out there and gives you a quality start, and that's all you can really ask for from a starting pitcher. and they're going to ask for him, as mentioned, again tonight. The Majors and the Guelph Royals was sure to be an exciting game. We mentioned the Majors, a big weekend coming up for them. It's tonight against Guelph before they head on the road tomorrow to take on Welland. That is a 1 o'clock start at Welland Stadium, and then Sunday afternoon in Hamilton to take on the hot Hamilton Cardinals. 3 big games. You'd like to see the Majors get out of here with at least 2, but mostly, if they can, all 3 of those games.
Yeah, for sure. And if you look at the major schedule going down the road, they play Guelph tonight, Welland tomorrow, Hamilton on Sunday, and then Toronto and Brantford next weekend. Those are all winnable games for the majors. They've done well against Hamilton. They have a win against Welland, and Toronto and Brantford are sitting 7 and 8 in the standings, even with how they've been playing lately. So you know what? These are all winnable games for the majors. Should we expect them to win all of the rest of their games? No, but expect them to take likely 3 out of 5 in their final 5 this season, because these are all games that these London Majors could certainly win.
And me and you sitting down there at field level before the game, manager Root Charandat came up to us before, and he said exactly that. He said, I need at least 3. That's what I need in this final stretch. I need at least 3, then I'll be confident. It might not give me a home field advantage in the playoffs, but at least it gets me in with a favorable matchup, a matchup that he's comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, if you can, you want to be in that 5 spot, because it's better than the 6 spot. You don't have to face as good of a team. It's still a very good team, and what will likely, well, I mean, I can't make any predictions with how close it's been. So obviously, Roop wants to take 3 out of 5. That would be ideal in the last 5 games of the season.
Exactly. We're going to go now, take a quick break, and when we come back, the lineups will be finished, and we'll have time for anthems and the ball game between the Guelph Royals and the London Majors.
Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. Chances are, if you've been out to a London Majors game this season, then you've noticed all the advertisements around the field. If you're wondering how you can get your business involved, then reach out to us and we can put you in touch with Angela at angela@londonmajors.com. We can help you find innovative ways to help your business grow with the London Majors.
Welcome back to Labatt Memorial Park here. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker on the call. We're going to send it right down to field level with Eric Collins in time for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the action. Please rise if you are able. And gentlemen, please remove your caps and join the signal by national anthem. That is done with down on the field. Jake Stevens to introduce tonight's anthem singer.
And joining us today is Candace Burgo. She's a graduate of the Fanshawe Theater Arts Program, currently a manager of the All-Star Knott's Hair Salon in North Pleasant, Belmont. She enjoys singing and performing in her spare time and is honored to be performing the national anthem here for you tonight.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, through patient love in all of our land, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada.
Another wonderful rendition of the national anthem, Dylan. We are just about set ready to get underway here from Labatt Park on this beautiful Friday night. Higuera on the mound, Ambrose behind the dish. The major is ready to go. It's going to be an exciting game, Dylan. And this is just a bold prediction out here for me. I think Higuera is going to have a fantastic night on the mound.
That is a bold prediction, but it's not too bold because Juliandre Higuera all season has been a great arm for the London Majors, and he's worked well with Mike Ambrose behind the plate. Those two together are very good, so hopefully Higuera continues his success and has a great game here tonight. Don't be shocked if we see a playoff-like atmosphere at Labatt Park and if we see playoff-like energy between these two teams.
Yeah, the crowd really has brought it out tonight as well. A pretty packed house here on Latino night at the ballpark. So Hola, welcome to London Majors TV. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker taking you along for the ride. What is sure to be a fantastic night and a lot of fans in attendance to see it. Dylan, the starting lineup for the visiting Guelph Royals, it's one that looks awfully familiar to us. They haven't really changed it up since the last time we saw Guelph.
No, they have not. We've got Kyle Cush leading off at short, Ethan Hammond batting second in center field, Sean Riley batting third at designated hitter, Angel Villalona bats cleanup and plays third base, Justin Interessano bats fifth at first base, Matt Schmidt, is in right field batting sixth, Brendan Keys is behind the dish batting seventh, Ethan Moen is batting eighth in left field, and Darius Barlas is at second base batting ninth.
So we'll see the Royals as they come to the plate. Cush starting things off for them. The leadoff man, of course, in the order, and he's done a pretty good job at that role so far for the Guelph Royals in this season. Facing off against Juliandre Higuera, who, Dylan, we haven't talked about it a whole lot, but the strikeouts this season, he's been up there. He's at 90 right now. We talked for a little bit about possibly getting up close to the London Majors all-time record, but it doesn't look like he's going to get there based on how many games are left in the season. That number is 126. He's sitting at 90, so he needs quite a few to get there, but what an impressive season by Higuera.
Yeah, it most certainly has been, and for a guy that actually came in later on in the season, he didn't start the year as a London Major. He came on after an injury. So Higuera has been super impressive. 90 strikeouts starting late. He's leading the league in that category, and unfortunately he might not be able to get the record. He's likely not going to be able to get the record, but what a great season Juliandre Higuera has had.
So Kyle Cush comes in to lead things off for the Guelph Royals in this ball game. Royals wearing their road jerseys here. The blue, and standing in that left-handed batter's box, getting set to go. Higuera toes the rubber on the first base side, and Ambrose gets set to give the first sign of the ball game. Slightly outside setup. First pitch here from Higuera is across for a strike, 0-1. And in typical Higuera fashion, gets ahead early.
Yes, he does, and he does that quite often. It leads to success for him. Most important pitch in baseball is the first pitch strike.
Second pitch swung on and missed by Cush, and it's quickly 0-2 here. Power lefty versus contact lefty matchup here.
Yeah, Higuera's got a good fastball, and the breaking stuff is just phenomenal.
The 0-2 from Higuera. That one's fouled off over towards the Majors dugout. So the count will stay at 0-2.
That one looked like it jammed Kyle Cush a little bit. He was barely able to fight it off and send it towards the Majors dugout.
Higuera set on the mound here on 0-2. Ambrose sets up, leg kick delivered to the plate. That one's fought off and caught by the third base coach by Guelph. A nice snag, but it'll stay at 0-2.
Yeah, it's another one that he was just barely able to fight off. He's jammed right now, and Higuera is working the corners very nicely.
Seen him go inside a few times here and outside a few times as well. Working both sides of the plate. Ambrose sets up a little bit out this time. Pitch from Higuera off speed. That one hit in the air. Ambrose running it down, but it will get out of play.
Good effort there by Mike Ambrose, and Kyle Cush is not making good contact with the ball. He is just popping them up right now and sawing them off. So right now Higuera is working well against this Guelph leadoff hitter, not allowing him to get on base.
As mentioned, a good crowd here at Labatt Park on this Friday night. One of the last remaining home games of the regular season. Of course, the Majors on the road Saturday and Sunday this weekend before returning home for a pair of home games next weekend. Higuera still in an 0-2 count here on the Royals leadoff man, Kyle Cush. Setup and delivery to the plate here. That one just inside. First ball of the game, 1-2.
Again, Higuera's trying to work the corners in there. He just missed the inside corner on Kyle Cush. Unfortunately, didn't get the call he wanted.
Higuera once again off speed this time, up high. Didn't quite break enough, slipped out of his hand, 2-2. Good at bat here for Cush to start the game. The 2-2 delivery from Higuera to the plate. That one missing as well, so the count full now.
Yeah, very good at bat here for Kyle Cush, working a very good starting pitcher on the mound.
The 3-2 delivery. Higuera to the plate. That one hit on the ground, over to first, but foul. Kyle Gormady over at first, making his return to the starting lineup. I believe it's been some time since we've seen Gormady in the starting lineup, Dylan.
Yeah, we've seen him pinch hit a couple of times, but this is his first time back in the starting lineup in a long time. This has been an 8-pitch at-bat for Kyle Cush.
8 already, 2, and here comes the 9th one to the plate. 3-2 delivery. That one in the dirt, blocked up, and it's going to be a leadoff walk here for Kyle Cush to start the ball game.
You know what? Phenomenal job there by Kyle Cush working Juliandre Higuera. He didn't chase anything out of the zone. He was very patient, and the pitches that he did chase, he fought them off, and he stayed alive. So great at-bat there for Kyle Cush. And now I bet the Guelph Royals are very happy that he's on base, and hopefully they can start something.
So now Ethan Hammond comes to the plate, playing center field tonight. Of course, another lefty in the lineup against Higuera on the mound, who has a quick look over to one and comes to the plate. It's there, called strike one.
Seems Higuera has found the zone again after missing it a couple of consecutive times on Kyle Cush.
Time called at the plate. So the 0-1 will have to wait on the delivery from Higuera. Quick check, and now a throw over to one. Back in, sliding safely.
I'm not too surprised that Higuera threw over there. I mean, Kyle Cush had a pretty aggressive lead over there. He got all the way to the end of the dirt cutout. So Higuera's just trying to make sure he's not going.
Another throw over from Higuera. Cush in, sliding once more. Making sure that he's not off on the pitch. Higuera looking. Now he picks up his target to the plate. That one misses, so it's now even at 1.
We've seen it quite a few times this season where Juliandre Higuera has a bit of a rocky first inning but then settles in. He'll look to avoid that here, hopefully getting a double play ball, but right now he's struggling a little bit against Ethan Hammond.
Higuera, another move over. The third time we've seen him check on Kyle Cush at first base. 3 throws over to 1, only 2 towards the plate. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Squares around to bunt. That one's hit in the air. Froze, running it down. Makes the grab in foul territory.
Great job by Steve Froze and just a poorly executed bunt by Ethan Hammond. He tried to get Kyle Cush up to second base. And you know what? Seeing all those pickoff throws from Higuera was a bit atypical for him because he does not usually like to throw over, but he did quite a few times there, so he thought something was up, and something was up, not with Cush over at first base, but instead with Ethan Hammond, who popped up a bunt, and great job by Steve Froze rushing in foul territory to make the play.
So you get an out on the board, but now you're stuck facing off against the dangerous designated hitter of Sean Riley, who, no surprise this season, putting up big numbers, .369 batting average, 10 home runs, 26 RBIs.
Riley's pacing the Guelph Royals in average home runs and RBI. He's just behind Jordan Castaldo in home runs.
Castaldo of the Baycats hit his 13th home run of the season last night, leads the IBL. Pitch here from Higuera inside to Riley. 1-0.
Good to see that Higuera's coming right after him there. He's not trying to work him outside. He's going right in on him and almost hit Sean Riley.
Higuera, of course, not afraid to work the big man inside. Now the 1-0 delivery off speed. That one just out.
That one was close, but Sean Riley does not get cheated up there at the plate. He doesn't strike out very often, but he does walk quite a bit.
Higuera ready to go on the mound. Riley, of course, the righty. Big stance, pitch, big swing and a miss there. Higuera throws it right by him, 2-1.
Sean Riley was looking to send that ball into the river. He missed it there. Higuera's pitches look tempting, but they're pretty hard coming in, and they might have a little bit of late movement on them.
Kush still on one, another throw over here. He's back in sliding, so they keep on checking on him over there at first base.
And that's quite strange because Julio Andre Higuera rarely throws over.
The scouting report on Kyle Kush has yet to steal a base this season. He's got a big lead over at the cut of the grass. Pitch here. That one hit on the ground. Froze picks it up, just foul.
So now on 2-2, you got two ways that you can attack Sean Riley. You could come right after him and hope for the double play ball, or you could throw some soft stuff away and hope for the strikeout. Possibly against a guy like Sean Riley with his power, you look for the soft stuff and the punch out. But you know what? Don't be shocked if Julio Andre Higuera comes right after him and looks for a ground ball here.
Higuera, of course, a power pitcher. Lives on the fastball strikeout, blow it right by him. They're set up inside and low. Here's the pitch. That one just missing. Ambrose thought he might have caught the corner there, but they don't get it. It's a full count now on Sean Riley.
Yeah, you can see Julio Andre Higuera also thought that he caught the corner. Unfortunately, he didn't. And now he's got to work to Sean Riley with a full count. And last thing you want to do is walk him here and have Angel Villalona on deck.
Of course, Villalona on deck, no slouch as well. Another big bat for this Royals team. 3-2 delivery off speed. That one's fouled off. So they go soft and away. Not quite away as they probably would have liked. But the count stays at 3-2 here with one out.
Yeah, they might have liked to go out a little further, but Sean Riley would have taken that pitch with how good his eye is, or would have likely taken that pitch because he has a tremendous eye at the plate and you don't want to walk him.
So Higuera set for another 3-2 pitch here. Kush stands on first. The leg kick, delivery. Riley swing and a miss. He blows it by Sean Riley for the strikeout and a big punch out here for the second out of the inning.
Huge strikeout there from Julio Andre Higuera, and he blew a fastball right by Sean Riley. Looked like that one was on the outside part of the plate, and Riley just couldn't quite get to it, and he couldn't catch up to that fastball. So great to see from Higuera.
And you talk about getting through one of the big bats in the IBL, and especially on this Royals team. Now you have to face off against another one, Dylan. You do have two outs in the inning, but Villalona is no slouch at the plate.
He most certainly is not. Second on the team in RBI and average, only behind Sean Riley, and was actually the IBL Player of the Week just a couple of weeks ago. So he's been very good this season.
Has a couple of home runs against the majors this season. First pitch called a strike there. Higuera works ahead, and it's 0-1.
That off-speed stuff is so good. He can get it to go away from someone and he'll swing and miss, or he can get it on a corner or down the middle, depending on what the situation calls for, and it's a strike.
Ambrose setting up in. Pitch from Higuera's up and out. Had to get Ambrose reaching, and it's even.
Higuera does have two outs here, but he's throwing a lot of pitches. The Royals are doing a very good job of working him right now, and we'll see if that carries over into the upcoming innings.
1-1 pitch. That one hit hard into left field. It'll drop in front of Pena, who gets it in quickly. And that quick throw will keep Kush at second base, but it's going to be a 2-out single for Angel Villalona.
Yeah, we talked about how he is no slouch at the plate and how he's a very good hitter, and he absolutely ripped that ball into left field. However, Izzy Pena could not have played that ball much better. He cut it off and got a strong throw in to limit how far Villalona and Kyle Kush could go.
So that brings way for Justin Interessano, who this season batting .306 with 4 long balls and 12 RBIs. And he'll have a runner in scoring position here with a pair of outs in the top of the first inning.
And you know what? 3, 4, 5 in this Guelph Royals order are so scary.
Well, lefty on lefty matchup here. Higuera right to an off-speed pitch to start him, and it's across for a strike.
I'm not too surprised to see the off-speed as a first pitch to Interessano, who is a lefty. That off-speed goes away from the lefties, and it works really well against them for Higuera.
Seen Higuera go with that off-speed to start the at-bat a few times already. Top of the first inning. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Ambrose blocks up. Will keep Kush at second.
Great block there by Mike Ambrose. Kyle Kush could have some speed. He's not stolen a base yet, but he's hitting at the top of their order, and usually you have a speedy guy up there, so good on him to block that ball and not allow Kush or Villalona to move up.
Kush stands on second. Villalona on first, and Interessano the batter here. Higuera has a 1-1 count. The delivery, that one catches the outer corner for a strike, 1-2.
And Interessano did not like that call as he looked back at the umpire for a while, got his take on where that pitch was, and eventually got back up. But that one did look like it caught the outside corner just barely, moving the count to 1-2. Interesting to see how Higuera attacks Interessano. He's thrown a couple of breaking balls for strikes. Does he come back with one more? Hope he misses it. We'll have to see.
Higuera on the 1-2. Sign from Ambrose. Leg kick and delivery to the plate here. That one's hit in the air. Yasuda makes the grab at second on a leap. And Higuera and the Majors will work out of the top of the first inning, but not before the Royals pick up a pair of base runners on one hit. And they threaten a little bit here at the top of the first inning, Dylan, but they won't get anything across.
Yeah, and you know what? We've seen it quite a bit with Julian Higuera. His first inning is usually a little bit rough. He allowed a hit there. He walked a guy. There were 2 runners on base. That's not what you want to see in your first inning of work, but you know what? That's what we got from Julian Higuera, and he usually bounces back in the next few innings. But the Royals certainly pressed there.
We take a quick break. When we come back, the Majors take their first swings here in the bottom of the first inning. Welcome back to the bottom of the first inning here from Labatt Park in London. The Majors set to bat, and they will send out Arteaga, Pena, and Cleveland Brownlee here, the top 3 to greet that man on the mound who Dylan, we mentioned in the pregame show, you can't be looking at the stats there and thinking that you got to hit this game. He's a good pitcher.
Yeah, he definitely is, and he's been good lately, so he's got plenty of stuff, great breaking stuff, and a lively fastball. We'll see how the majors fare and if they can catch up to that fastball.
So Carlos Arteaga to lead things off here for the London Majors. Over the past few weeks, we've seen Roop Chandat switch up the leadoff man in his order at least a dozen times. First pitch to Arteaga's across for a strike, 0-1. This one inside evens the count up. Working quickly now. That one's fouled off by Arteaga, out of play as it finds its way over top of the Royals dugout for a 1-2 count.
Yeah, Yambadas works quickly, and he's got quite the wild delivery. He goes back a little bit, jerks himself sideways, and eventually releases the ball.
The 1-2 delivery, Arteaga hits that one on the ground, takes a hop. Now a strong throw across in time. So Arteaga's retired there on 4 pitches for the first out here at the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and Carlos Arteaga likes to take the first pitch of his at-bats to see what the pitcher features, but first pitch might be the best thing you're going to get from Yambadas today because of how good his stuff is. He can throw you something out of the zone, you'll swing and miss at it. So that first pitch might be a big key for the Majors to have success offensively.
And now Ismael Pena comes to bat here for the Majors, moved up into the number 2 spot. Hit there a few times already this season, but now making his return there tonight. Pitch here from Yambadas, swing and a miss from Pena. It's quickly 0-1.
Pena was looking for that first pitch, but it's a lively fastball, and I'm not sure he was ready for it.
Now time called at the dish there, as Pena didn't like how fast Yambadas was going. You talked about it, Dylan. He's quick to work on the mound there, gets the ball back right into it and ready to grab the sign and pitch. Pena hits that one right over to second base. The throw in time to get him. Might have broke his bat on that one. It's quickly 2 outs here on the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and a quick worker leads to quick outs, clearly, as Yambadas has worked very quickly to the first 2 batters and has had them. He's gotten them both out on ground outs. A little bit surprised to see that he's getting more ground outs than he is strikeouts so far, but that could change down the road. Big bat coming up.
Now for the Majors, Cleveland Brownlee leads the team in home runs, where he has 8 on the season, 27 RBIs, also good for first on the team. The average is the only thing that's not up where Cleveland is used to. He's hitting at 222, but he can change the game in a hurry.
Yeah, he most certainly can. The average isn't there, but the power is.
Looks silly on that one, 0-1, off-speed pitch.
That off-speed pitch had so much movement on it. That's what we were alluding to earlier with Yambadas, that he has a ton of movement and he's got great off-speed stuff. So we'll see more swings like that.
Brownlee hits this one in the air, left center field. Watch it fly. It's gone. Cleveland Brownlee, number 9 on this season, and the Majors lead.
Wow, he's been really good lately with the bat. Cleveland Brownlee goes deep yet again. That one to the deepest part of the ballpark, and the center fielder knew it. He didn't even think about it. Cleveland goes deep yet again. Another absolute bomb, and the first one to greet him out there is Julian Higuera, who is very happy he got run support in this first inning.
If you listened to the radio in the London area this morning, you would have heard Cleveland Brownlee on there. He was talking about his Abo bats and how he might just hit a couple tonight. He's got his first, as that one left center field and more towards center, Dylan. You mentioned that is a deep part of the ballpark, and Cleveland Brownlee hit it out.
Oh, yeah, he hit it out by a lot. So good start for the Majors, and he would like to get to double-digit home runs this season, and he's 1 home run away from that.
First pitch to Reichstein is there. 0-1. The 0-1 delivery here. Yambadas misses, so it moves the count to even at 1-1. Look now to the plate here. Now Reichstein taking once more, 1-2. Or pardon me, 2-1.
Byron's got a great plate eye as well. So many hitters in this majors lineup too.
Pitch here, Reichstein takes that one. He'll move to a hitter's count now. Reichstein as well, hitting .252 this season. 5 home runs of his own with 16 RBIs. Pitch to the plate, swing and a miss.
You know what I was going to say prior to that pitch, if you're Byron right now, don't swing at the off-speed, let him come to you with a fastball, and it looked like an off-speed there that Byron did end up swinging at, and he missed it.
Now a 3-2 delivery. Reichstein hits that one on the ground over the first, picked up on a hop, taking it himself, steps on the bag, and that will retire the side here in the bottom of the first inning. But the Majors pick up a run on the solo home run from Cleveland Brownlee. They lead this one 1-0. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the second inning here from Labatt Park.
Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com.
Welcome back to Labatt Park here on a gorgeous Friday night at the Forks of the Thames. There is a good crowd as well, Dylan, here to take in this game between the Guelph Royals and the London Majors. You see it there on your screen. The Majors out to an early 1-0 lead, and that comes from the big man, Cleveland Brownlee.
It did, and he hit an absolute bomb to center field, destroyed that ball, and it's something we've seen quite a bit this season. The power has been phenomenal from Cleveland, just destroying baseballs, and it is so much fun to see Cleveland hit a home run at home with how excited these fans get.
And Dylan, me and you were talking while we were off camera there. You said you knew it was gone the moment it left the bat. From my angle over here, it looked like it went off the end of the bat a little bit, and it looked like it might have, hung up a little bit, but no, Cleveland hit that one and hit it a long way. The Majors were out in front 1-0.
He hit that one to dead center field, and he got all of that ball.
Higuera gets ahead 0-1 here as he throws that one by. Matt Schmidt, the batter, as he takes that one quickly 0-2. Dylan, we've seen a few lefties in this Guelph lineup already. Is that something that you think manager Roop Charendat knew coming into this game?
Yeah, he most likely did. He probably saw how many lefties they had on their roster and knew that having a lot of lefties in the lineup was unavoidable, but I'm sure he could have found more righties. I'm quite surprised to see how many lefties we've seen.
That one's fouled off as it gets out of play. Of course, this game, no matter who the lineup was probably going to be Higuera's game. Of course, when you come out here and you see all the lefties, that just makes you feel better as a manager as well. Pitch here, hit on the ground, Yasuda, and it hits off him, boots it into center field. So the Royals will have a leadoff base runner here in the top half of the second inning.
Yeah, and Yasuda mistimed his dive there. He dove a little late. He could have probably taken another step and he would have gotten there without the dive, but he decided that sliding would have been necessary to make the play, and unfortunately just kicked right off his cleat.
It's now Brendan Keys for the Royals. He'll bat. Nobody out here in the top half of the second inning. Pitch misses for ball one.
He's also squared around a bunt on that one. Interesting to see how much the Royals use small ball. For any of you scoring at home, that line drive, hard ground ball to Yuki Isuda was ruled a single.
Of course, making the sliding effort. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That one's fouled off. Gets back to the backstop. So the count evens up at 1-1. We mentioned Higuera loves working ahead. He's fantastic at doing it as well. But Dylan, when he falls behind, he's even better at working back into counts, it seems.
Yeah, it does seem that way. He is just a phenomenal pitcher.
Squares around a bunt once more. Froze is right there. They'll go to 2 in time to get him. Throw back to 1, but safe at first base. So what was looking like a bunt to move the runner over instead turns into a fielder's choice. And the Majors grab their first out here at the top of the second.
Yeah, that sacrifice bunt did not work the way they wanted it to. Was hit a little bit too hard, and Steve Froze, such a great defender over third base, was able to get it to second, and they made the play almost turn 2. Carlos couldn't get the throw over in time, but Keys seemed to have a bit of speed there. So great play by Steve Froze.
So now Ethan Moen to the plate here for Guelph. Moen playing left field today.
You know what, just going back to Brandon Keys, for a catcher, he runs pretty well.
Pitch here from Higuera to the plate is outside. Moen on the season for Guelph, a .202 batting average. Has yet to really get things going for himself.
He's played in 27 games. He's just been struggling a little bit.
We'll see if he can come up with a base hit here. Of course, Higuera would love to grab himself a ground ball. Moen runs pretty well, but if it's hit hard, they can turn it. Pitch swung on and missed. A big cut at that one, and it's even now.
You know, the last guy that I would want to face if I'm struggling is Juliandre Higuera, so not exactly an ideal matchup for Ethan Moen, but you never know when you can turn things around.
Higuera now to the plate. That one swung through and missed by Moen. 2 big cuts, and it moves to 1-2.
1-2 here, Noah. 2 fastballs have been blown right by him. Do you go with a breaking ball here?
I don't see them changing it up. I know Mike Ambrose, and I think they might go right back to it, but we'll see what they do as he moves inside to set up here. The 1-2. Fastball just in. A good location there, but doesn't get Moen to budge.
It just missed the inside corner there. Came right back with a fastball. And he didn't want to change anything, but maybe you do here now. 3 straight fastballs. You don't really want to throw 4.
Exactly. This might be the situation where you switch things up. The 2-2. Checks on one, comes to the plate here. It's inside. Ambrose blocks it up, but gets it back to him. And now they're going to say that it hit him. Moen heads down to first, and it looks like the umpires will now convene.
There was a bit of a late call there from the home plate umpire saying that ball hit Ethan Moen. It looked like it might have. From our angle up here, Roop Chanardad comes out for a clarification. Might talk to his pitcher while he's at it. But Higuera's frustrated, and the umpires get together to talk about this one, and they do award Ethan Moen first base on the hit by pitch.
So now Roop will likely just ask for an explanation. Nonetheless, he'll put runners at first and second now with just 1 out in the inning.
Hey, you know what? They could still turn a double play ball here and end the inning. As Roop Chanardad's going to go out and talk to another umpire. Get 2 umpires together to discuss what happened there.
Now, I don't see them changing this, Dylan. From knowing umpires like I know them and being one as well, you're likely not going to change even after you've met a few times.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to change, but I think Roop is what the home plate umpire might have said was it was that umpire's final decision. Maybe he's the crew chief, and Roop's trying to figure out how, from that angle, he can see the ball hit Ethan Moen's knee, and he's talking it up with the 2 umpires, and the third one is coming over.
So it continues out there. It looks like Roop Chanardad will go back to the dugout empty-handed. And so with 1 out, we will have runners on first and second. And that'll bring up to the plate Darius Barlis, who is playing second base for Guelph today.
Barlow's not really a power threat, but he can run well, so if you get a ground ball, you got to turn quickly.
Pitch from Higuera to the plate, that one missing. So he falls behind 1-0. Chance here to look, comes to, that one's hit on the ground, but not hard. Arteaga's going to have to come across, make a strong throw across the one in time at first base. So both runners will advance. But Arteaga makes a nice play for the second out.
Yeah, great play by Carlos there. He didn't even look at second base. Maybe Yuki was telling him that he shouldn't throw it, that he shouldn't even look over there. But I think had he looked, Darius Barlos beats that one out at first base, and Carlos didn't even give it a look and ran straight over to make a good throw to first base, and they got him.
So now with 2 outs in the order, it's back to the top of the order, Kyle Cush. And Higuera, through the first inning and 2/3 so far, has had a lot of work. Pitch here, that one hit on the ground, and Gormley comes over to get it. He's going to have to make the flip over. Higuera steps on first in time. So a little bit of a scary play there to end the top half of the second inning. But they get out of the jam once again here. Can't be doing that all night long. We go to the bottom of the second, Dylan. The Majors set to bat.
Yeah, they're going to look to add on to the runs that they scored in the run that they scored in the first inning, and not exactly an ideal play over at first base because Gormady came a long way to go field that ball. That's probably one you usually let Yuki Yasuda get to, and Julian Higuera did a great job, however, at getting to first base and stepping on the bag.
So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Majors will come to the dish and try to tack on a few more runs here if they can. They lead 1-0 here in London. Welcome back to Labatt here for the bottom half of the second inning. And the London Majors will send Michael Ambrose to the dish to get things going.
Yeah, Ambrose is coming in as he's doing pretty well lately. He's getting quite a few hits. I believe he had a home run in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of weeks ago. But he comes in with a .231 batting average, not where he wants it to be, but he's been pretty good lately.
Certainly been turning it on in the second half of the season. First pitch is called a strike here. Yambatis gets ahead, 0-1. Ambrose, of course, not a huge power threat, but can leave the yard. Pitch here is fouled straight back into the screen. So quickly 0-2 on the Majors catcher today.
Yeah, and on occasion, Mike Ambrose will go deep. And it doesn't happen very often, but it's happened twice this year.
So Yambatis set, and the 0-2 to the plate is outside. So it moves to 1-2. Ambrose's .231 average goes along with his 4 home runs and 16 RBIs. They appeal down to first on the check swing there. He doesn't go around, so it's now even at 2.
Yeah, it wasn't very close there. It didn't look like he went around, and he was able to hold back. He thought about it, but he did not go around for sure.
Pitch, and that one's hit on the ground into left field. It's a base hit for Mike Ambrose, who will jog on over to first base with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that one was a high chopper, and you take base hits any way you can get them. Obviously, that wasn't scorched by Mike Ambrose, but a base hit is a base hit. He will take it. He's on base now, and hopefully the Majors can get a rally going.
So now to the plate, Kyle Gormandy, who is back and into the starting lineup here. Gormandy this season for the London Majors comes in with his batting average, hitting at 200. So it is Ambrose on first to lead things off, and now Gormandy at the dish. Look, comes set. Gormandy hits that one. Hit and run was on. Ambrose is going to go from first to third easily, and he'll be held up there. Now he's going to be waved. A couple bobbles. Ambrose to the plate. Safe.
That is a phenomenal call there by the London Majors, getting the hit and run going. Kyle Gormandy not really known to go the opposite way, so the shortstop ran and covered, and then Gormandy hits an absolute laser into left center field. That was bobbled a couple times. Originally, Brent Wales was going to wave Ambrose home. Then he held him back, then saw the bobbles and waved him home again, and Ambrose was able to score on the throw that wasn't very strong.
A fantastic job there by the London Majors. Ambrose was on. Took off on the pitch. A hit and run was off, so the shortstop was brought over. Gormandy hit it into left center field, and then you mentioned, Dylan, the few bobbles is what caused it, and the Majors have tacked on another run here, and they're still in business with Gormandy on second. Yasuda at the dish, and nobody out. Here's the pitch. Yasuda squares around a bunt, puts it down the line, but it's going to be foul here. So 0-1.
On that play, Kyle Gormandy got a single and got to second on the E7. Mike Ambrose scored on that E7.
And I don't believe it will be scored in RBI. But mark it down in your head as that. A great job by Gormandy and Ambrose there. Now inside to Yasuda. So it's 1-1.
With the runner in scoring position, the Guelph Royals are expecting bunt. Maybe Yasuda gets one down and moves Kyle Gormandy up to third base. But Angel Villalona and the first baseman Justin Terrasano are both playing pretty far in.
Already squared around and put one down already in this at-bat. Now squares around this one right back to the mound. They'll check. They'll come to three. The throw is in time to get the lead runner Gormandy heading to third. So a great play there by Yambadas on the mound to get the first out.
Yeah, and we've seen two bunts that have not gone where they were supposed to. Actually, three. One of them was a pop-up. But two bunts on the ground that didn't go where they were supposed to. That one went right back to the pitcher, Junior Yambadas, and they were able to get the lead runner, which you never want to do on a sac bunt. Luckily, Yuki does have some speed over at first base.
So now it's Yasuda on first with an out here in the inning as Gormandy's retired. Pitch here to the plate. That one's called a strike. So it's 0-1 now on Miles Miller. Another guy for this Majors team that is hit in the top half of the order. Has been a leadoff man and now hitting behind Yuki Yasuda. Throw over to one, but Yasuda's back in sliding.
And what a pleasant surprise Miles Miller has been. He came along late and he's been tremendous.
We knew he was going to be good, but he has been fantastic so far for the Majors. Pitch to the plate. That one's hit on the ground, right back up the middle, on a hop. Not able to get him. Throw in time to get Miller coming to first. So they won't get the lead man Yasuda, but they'll grab an out at first, and that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, another hit and run was called there by the Majors. I don't think Miles Miller necessarily wanted to swing at that pitch, but he did. He grounded it up the middle, and with Yasuda's speed, there was no chance they could have turned to, and they were just able to get Miles over at first base because he also has a ton of speed.
And it was a close play at first as well. So that'll bring up Steve Froese now. Froese is playing third base today. Dylan, he seemed to fit in well over at third base. He's kind of settled in there throughout the last half of the season as well.
Yeah, he has. He's been very good over at third base. A pleasant surprise because he wasn't a third baseman coming in.
That first pitch misses, so it's 1-0 here to Steve Froese.
I shouldn't say he wasn't a third baseman. He wasn't primarily a third baseman coming into this season, and he's done a great job over at third base. And one thing he also does, he does a tremendous job at working pitchers.
Pitch here is called a strike. Steve Froese this season is batting .242. He's got a runner in scoring position right now. We're looking for his 4th RBI of the season. That one's chopped over to third base. Going to be a tough play. The throw over in the dirt, picked that one. And a nice play there to get the 3rd out of the inning. But the Majors pick up another run here in the bottom half of the 2nd, courtesy of a hit and run from Mike Ambrose and Kyle Gormandy. And they lead now 2-0 as we go to the 3rd here from Labatt Park.
Chances are, if you've been out to a London Majors game this season, then you've noticed all the advertisements around the field. If you're wondering how you can get your business involved, then reach out to us and we can put you in touch with Angela at angela@londonmajors.com. We can help you find innovative ways to help your business grow with the London Majors.
Welcome back to Labatt Memorial Park here on a gorgeous, and I mean it, a gorgeous Friday night here in London. The London Majors out in front to an early 2-0 lead, Dylan, and they are looking pretty good at the plate as well.
Yeah, they are 2 runs and 2 innings so far, and we talked about it going into the game, how they are going to need to score more runs, and hopefully they ride on the momentum that they get from those runs, and they scored 1 in the first inning on the Cleveland home run, and then proceeded to score 1 more in the 2nd inning, so they're up 2-0 right now, and when Higuera has a lead, he's dangerous.
Higuera back on the mound. He has been good through the first 2 innings so far, although he's run into a little bit of trouble, some runners in scoring position, some runners on base. But he's worked out of it. See if he can have a clean inning here. First pitch looked like it was right there, but he holds up in time, and it's going to be 1-0 count.
Ethan Hammond at the plate looked like he held up. Might have been a strike anyway, but he didn't get the call.
This pitch fouled off and out of play, so the count moves to even now. One delivery. Higuera to the plate. It's up high, so it's 2-1.
Yeah, we're seeing something with Higuera right now. He's not throwing as many strikes as he usually does. He's been missing quite a bit. But if you want to miss anywhere, you miss out of the zone.
Pitch here is fouled off. So he works back and works it to even now at 2-2. Gone with the fastball a few times. We'll see if they set up and go off speed here.
He's thrown quite a few fastballs in this at-bat. An off-speed pitch to a lefty would not be that bad of an idea.
The 2-2 count here. Higuera. Leg kick and delivery to the plate here. This one's hit shallow center field. A late jump in, and it's going to drop into no man's land. The bloop single here will start the top of the third inning.
Yeah, a little pop-up there off the bat of Ethan Hammond. And Miles Miller originally broke back, probably couldn't see that ball well, and then had to sprint in. And honestly, if you're going to take a step and have it go the wrong way, you want it to be back. That way you have more flexibility. You can come in better than you can go back. And Miller just could not make that play, unfortunately.
So it will be a leadoff base runner here for the Royals. Once more here in the top of the third inning. Has a look and comes set here. This one's inside, but called a strike. Riley doesn't like it. Did look a little bit in, but it's 0-1.
And not only did that pitch look in, it looked like it might have been a little bit low too to Sean Riley, but he didn't get the call he wanted. It was a strike. Higuera, I'm sure, liked the call.
Higuera will take getting up 0-1 on one of the most dangerous hitters in the IBL. Has a look, now comes set. This pitch just missing low on what also looked like a pretty good pitch. Now it's even at 1.
If you're Sean Riley right now, you're thinking that pitch was a ball, but the previous pitch was a strike. Why can't it be 2-0? It's 1-1 though, so not as good of a count for Sean Riley, that's for sure.
Looks to the plate. Riley hits that one about mid-depth out to right field. There, and the catch is made. So the first out comes off the bat of Sean Riley. Got just a little bit underneath it and flies out to right.
Yeah, Byron did a good job tracking that ball, and he made the play. Sean Riley hit a high fly ball, and obviously anytime Sean Riley hits a high fly ball, it's a scary moment for the London Majors, for any opposing team. Luckily, that one did not go very far, and Reichstein was able to get there.
So, Higuera's got a chance now, and he's got Villalona at the plate here with an out. Villalona does not run well, so if you can get one on the ground here, a chance to turn 2 and get out of the inning.
Yeah, they do have the possibility of calling a hit and run here with how slow Villalona is to stay out of the double play in case he hits one on the ground.
Not an overly big lead at first. Pitch to the plate, called a strike on Villalona. He thought it was outside as well, so both him and Riley not happy with the strike zone here on the top of the third.
Seems like the strike zone has been more pitcher-friendly all game long. Besides a few calls in the first inning, the home plate umpires have been very generous to the starting pitchers.
Looks, deals to the plate here. Villalona fouls that one off. And it's now 0-2 here for Higuera.
It's a nightmare count for any opponent against Leandro Higuera with how many batters he is able to put away. Interesting to see what they come with. He's come with 2 fastballs so far, both of them for strikes, one of them fouled off. Because of the foul ball, maybe you come with an off speed here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they stick with the fastball, maybe try to put it up and blow it right past Villalona.
Pitch, Villalona hits that one hard down the line. It's a foul ball. The count will stay at 0-2. So the 0-2 once again here to Villalona. Higuera moves over to 1 and picks back safely.
I would be a little bit surprised if we saw a hit and run on 0-2, but anything can happen, and if you avoid a double play by doing so, then it works.
Higuera looks and now goes over once more, so maybe he also thinks that they might be putting a hit and run on as well, Dylan, seeing if he can get the base runner and Hammond to break early.
Yeah, he's hoping that maybe he'll catch him leaning or, as you mentioned, Noah, break early. Unfortunately, right now for Higuera, that hasn't been happening.
0-2, we'll see if they go at Villalona. Now time called by Villalona. So with all that going on down there, Villalona asks for time and receives it.
Yeah, big pitch coming up because you could get 1 out if you strike Villalona out. You could even get 2 if you get a ground ball hit hard enough to turn 2.
Higuera finally set on the mound. leg kick, and he comes to the plate here. Villalona fights that one off. Center field, Miller coming in. He's not able to get it. That ball drops, and it's going to be a base hit for Angel Villalona.
Yeah, Villalona's the only guy in this Guelph order so far to have multiple hits on Juliandre Higuera. He's seeing the ball well. He scorched it on his first at-bat. That one was a bit of a fly ball, but he hit it right between Miles Miller and Izzy Pena, and neither could make the grab. So the Royals have two base runners with one out.
Looked like he got it on his hands a little bit as well. So to the plate now, Justin Interessano, with a pair of runners on and just one out here in the top of the third inning. To the plate here, this one's fouled. Not playable there, as it was just out of reach of Mike Ambrose. But it's 0-1.
And once again, we see Juliandre Higuera jamming a left-handed batter. We've seen it so many times in the ball game, and it happened again there. Just barely able to fight that one off with Justin Interessano.
The pace of play is dramatically different as well between these two starters. Higuera picks over. This is into center field. Miller gets it. The throw is he'll come into second, and Villalona moves into second, so they both move up on that miscue.
Yeah, and it's so strange to see Juliandre Higuera picking off so much in this ballgame, whether it's at first base or now second base. He's been picking off quite a bit. That one went into center field, and he kind of yanked that throw a little bit. So now the double play is no longer in order. You've got runners at second and third, a power bat at the plate. I know it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but a strikeout is what Higuera needs. That would be huge for him here.
So it's 0-1, and you mentioned that both when Ethan Hammond and Kyle Cush were on base, receiving a lot of attention from Juliandre Higuera. Pitch here, that one misses, although it looked pretty good. It's 1-1.
You know, it's possible that before the game, Juliandre Higuera was warned of the speed of this Guelph Royals team. Maybe, but he's been picking off a lot more than usual.
Speed for sure, but neither of those two he's been picking off have a registered stolen base this season. The 1-1 delivery's inside, that hits him. So that will load the bases here for the Royals in the top of the third inning.
You know, if there's one good thing about loading the bases here is that the double play is once again in order, and you can get it out at home possibly. You can get it out at third, at second, or at first. Double play is in order in so many ways. There are so many different ways that you could turn to here, and the majors will be looking to do that and hopefully get out of this inning. Mike Ambrose goes over and talks to his pitcher to give Interessano some time and to hopefully get on the same page with Higuera, who has been struggling a little bit lately against the last couple of batters.
So Matt Schmidt to the plate here with the bases loaded. And just one out here in the top of the third inning. Base runners, and more base runners has been the theme for the Royals so far. They look to push through. Pitch here is inside, and it gets away from Ambrose. In to score is going to be Hammond, and the Royals will put their first run of the game on the board.
It's been a rough inning for sure for the majors defensively. We saw Yuki Yasuda boot a ball, and Mike Ambrose lets that one get past him. So it's been a little bit tough for the majors. But Higuera doesn't usually get too rattled out there on the mound, so he will look to work out of this. Unfortunately, only one out and two runners in scoring position.
So with that, the corners will remain in, and the middle infielders playing roughly around where, even with the bases, maybe try to cut down Villalona at the plate. This one hit over. Gormady will check, and he'll come through and make the tag. So that will be the second out of the inning.
Wow, that was quite the strategy, base running wise. Matt Schmidt decided to dive directly into the ground to hopefully avoid a tag from Kyle Gormady, which he did not do, and that was the second out. Villalona did not score. So the good thing is you're one good pitch away from getting out of this inning. Still have two runners in scoring position, though.
So they'll look to get out of it with the lead intact if they can find an out here somewhere. They have to get through Brennan Keys first. First pitch is there for a strike, 0-1.
Keys in his first at-bat laid down a bunt unsuccessfully. And for those who were wondering, the run that scored was ruled a pass ball.
Look here to the plate. That one's called a strike as well. So quickly 0-2 here for Higuera.
Good to see that Higuera is 0-2 against Keys here, getting ahead of him very quickly.
Set to the plate. That one up high. Tried to give that one a little bit extra, but it's ball one.
Yeah, and it's been a frustrating inning for Juliandre Higuera, so he tried to put a little extra oomph on that ball to retire the side. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Higuera's 1-2 delivery to the plate here. That one's fouled off and into the parking lot here at Labatt, so it stays at 1-2.
Two outs here. Maybe you come with a breaking ball that'll dive away from Keys. You'll have to have Ambrose block it, though.
Pitch from Higuera. That one just outside on the breaking ball. So it's 2-2.
That breaking ball just missed the outside corner. It was very tempting for Brandon Keys to swing at, but he held back, and it just missed the outside corner, as you mentioned.
So 2-2. A big pitch coming here. Higuera's leg kick to the plate. That one fought off, but over to Arteaga, who almost was unable to run it down and make the grab, but he does in time, and the Majors once again will escape a little bit of trouble here in the top of the third inning, but the Royals do pick up a run here. They have a run on 4 hits so far tonight, and they will come to defense. The Majors come to bat here in the bottom of the third inning when we come back. Welcome back to Labatt Park here as the London Majors and the Guelph Royals doing battle here. Carlos Arteaga comes to the plate, and the Majors look to get that run back, Dylan.
Yeah, they will look to get that run back into the top of the order to do it, so hopefully at the top of the order can get something going and get that run back, get a 2-run lead again.
Bottom of the third inning, Guelph just picked up their first run in the top half. The Majors have scored a run so far in both the bottom of the first and bottom of the second. We'll see if they can do the same here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Arteaga is there for a strike, 0-1.
Again, Carlos is taking that first pitch, and the first pitch seems to be the best pitch from you, Yuri.
That one is a strike as well. Carlos in a hole, 0-2. Yabatis doing a great job, working quick. Pitch to the plate here. That one just outside, although it looked pretty good to Arteaga. 1-2. Yabatis, that one comes to Arteaga, but it misses as well. So the count moves to even now at 2-2. A full count now to Carlos Arteaga. A Let's Go Majors chant throughout Labatt Park here. First, that one hit up the middle. Base hit for Carlos Arteaga. A leadoff single here in the bottom of the third.
The Majors have this crowd going, and they're riding the momentum of the crowd and the 2 runs that they had in the first inning. Carlos on a full count pitch. He worked the count well. Lines it straight back up the middle for a nice solid base hit.
We mentioned it is Latino night at the park, but it's also just a great night for baseball, and the stands here at Labatt Park are packed here. At least a couple thousand in attendance. And the Majors out in front 2-1. Leadoff single here in the bottom of the third, and now Izzy Pena to the plate. Pitch here from Yabatis. Pena hits that one up the middle. It's off the glove. Arteaga will round and go to third. Heads up base running. And a great start here on the bottom of the third for the London Majors.
Yeah, it most certainly has been a great start for the Majors. Izzy Pena hits that one hard on the ground up the middle. Was a tough play. We'll see what the official scorer's ruling on that play is. Great job by Carlos. He knows his speed. He knows it's good. And he was able to round second and get to third very quickly on that one.
So you know on that one that now you got Cleveland Brownlee to the plate in a huge, and I mean huge, round of applause from the hometown fans here, who will be greeting Cleveland as he comes on now with runners on the corners and nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. Of course, you remember what he did back in the bottom of the first to give the Majors their 1-0 lead. Now sitting at 2-1.
Yeah, Majors are up 2-1. That was a hit for Izzy Pena.
Pitch inside to Cleveland, so Yabatis backing him off a little bit after the fly ball.
Cleveland was able to get his arms extended on the pitch in the first inning and drive one out of here. So they're busting him inside, hoping that they can avoid having him do that again.
1-0 delivery to Cleveland. That one called a strike, a little bit off the plate. Cleveland doesn't like it as he shows his disapproval. And usually when Cleveland shakes his head after that, you get a couple thousand fans in the stands agreeing as well.
He's got quite the influence here.
1-1 pitch here from Yabatis to the plate. Inside to Brownlee as he's backed off the plate, and it's 2-1.
Again, the approach seems to be bust him inside so he can't get his arms extended on Cleveland Brownlee, and it seems to be working. Well, I can't say it's working. It's a 2-1 count. They've missed a couple of times. There was the one pitch outside that got called a strike. Didn't look like he wanted the pitch there, but it was there, and it's the one strike that they've had so far. But they're really trying to bust Cleveland in.
The 2-1 delivery now. Arteaga at third. The pitch. Brownlee inside. That one's hit over to third. Bobbled, and they won't have a play. Brownlee's safe at first. A defensive miscue at third from Angel Villalona, and now the Majors will have the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, Cleveland doesn't run very well. I mean, he likes to consider himself a speed demon, but he's not exactly a fast runner. So Villalona had all the time in the world there, but he rushed it a little bit, bobbled the ball, tried to get two, didn't get one, and Carlos held at third. The bases are loaded for Byron.
And that's a good example right there of making sure you don't rush things. You rush it trying to get two, and you don't even end up getting one. Now Reichstein swings through that one. So it's 0-1 here.
Brownlee got aboard there on the error charge to Angel Villalona.
0-1 to Byron. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. So he's in a 0-2 hole now. You'd love to see him at least try to put something in play here, get the defense working. Artiega at third, Pena at second, Brownlee at first. Pitch, that one hit up the middle. It's a base hit for Reichstein. Into scores Artiega. Right behind him, Ismail Pena. Throw to the plate, not in time. Call it an RBI single. Two of them come across the score on Byron Reichstein's first hit of the game.
Yeah, Byron hit that one hard up the middle, and clutch hit there for him. He drove it right back where it came from, and scores 2 runs. Majors now up by 3. Their base lead of the game.
So that brings up to the plate Mike Ambrose. Looking for another hit tonight, and still not an out on the board here for the Royals in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brownlee is at second base. Reichstein, he's at first after the 2 RBI single, and now Ambrose squares around the bunt as that one is hit over. A nice catch made by Angel Villalona.
Yeah, really nice play over there at third base by Villalona. He leaped up in foul territory and made the catch. Tough luck there for Mike Ambrose, and that will be the first out of this inning. We've seen an error and quite a few hits. That is just the first out that the Guelph Royals have recorded.
So now Kyle Gormandy will come on to try and extend this lead if he can. He's going to have to try and find a ball into a gap, though. Brownlee doesn't run exceptionally well. So Gormandy is the batter with an out, and 2 already crossed here in the bottom of the 3rd. That pitch fouled off into the parking lot. So it's 0-1.
Someone's going to have an unpleasant surprise post-game.
Just hoping it's not me.
I don't have to worry.
The 0-1 delivery now. To the plate. Gormandy hits that one, chops it over, bobbled off the glove, flip over to one, won't be there. So Gormandy will reach now. And the bases will continue to be loaded here.
Bases are once again loaded. Would have been a tough play for Yambadas on the mound. He was going to try and take it himself, but he ended up tripping over his own shoe and dropping the ball. Justin Interessano tried to recover, but he couldn't get a handle on the ball and couldn't flip it in time. So again, the bases are loaded, this time for Yuki Yasuda, who has done a phenomenal job at getting balls into the outfield.
Yambadas to the plate here, swinging and a miss from Yasuda. And it's 0-1.
The official scorer's ruling on that play will be a hit for Kyle Gormandy, so he gets to pad his batting average a little bit.
It's going to be a tough play to make. And like you mentioned, Yambadas tried to take it himself, but tripped. Here's the 0-1 delivery to the plate. Yasuda takes that one, and it's 0-2. A few big runs stand out there for the Majors here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitch is outside. So the first ball of the at-bat here, and it's 1-2 to Yuki Yasuda.
Really all Yasuda has to do, actually, no, not with Cleveland running, they likely won't get a sacrifice fly, so get a ball on the ground into the outfield. You should be able to score 1, hopefully 2 runs.
Pitch is fouled off by Yasuda. So the count stays where it is at 1-2. Bases loaded. Brownlee is at third, Reichstein at second, and Gormandy at first. Yasuda is the batter. 2 runs already in. Pitch to the plate in the dirt. Count even at 2.
Yasuda doesn't get cheated up there very often. He makes sure that he doesn't swing at the bad pitches. Another bad pitch there that he'd let go by him.
Called strike 3 on Yasuda. And there is the second out here at the bottom of the 3rd there.
Yasuda thought it was off the plate, and good thing is that was the Majors' first strikeout of the ball game. They've been aggressive, and it's led to 4 runs on the board.
So now Miles Miller will come to the plate. of course, has speed. We'll see if he can try to find a ball into the outfield. Pitch, swing, and a miss there, a big cut. And it's 0-1.
Now you absolutely have to get a ball into the outfield here to score a run.
And Bottas to the plate. That one taken by Miller, but it's a ball. The 1-1. That one's called a strike. Miller thought it was outside and off the plate.
You know, we saw with Leandro Higuera earlier, this home plate umpire is pitcher friendly, and there's another example of it right there.
Bottas to the plate here. Miller on the ground. He can run. It might be a tough play at one. It's in time. A great play over there at second base and in time to get him. But the Majors will pick up 2 more runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning and extend their lead to 4-1 as we go to the 4th inning from Labatt Park, and the Royals set to bat. The kids will run the bases. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the 4th inning here from Labatt Park.
Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com.
Welcome back, Majors fans, here to Labatt Park as we get set to start the top of the 4th inning. As the sun is setting, Dylan, it's a gorgeous night. We mentioned a few times already. A big crowd out here getting ready to cheer on the London Majors, and you're really getting ready for this playoff push that the Majors are on, of course, just around the corner in a couple weeks. Hopefully we get to see these big crowds out for the playoffs as well.
Hey, you know what? If we have a beautiful night like we have here tonight, we will see huge crowds out at Labatt Park for some playoff baseball, and great to see all the fans coming out in full force today on Latino night.
Now, Dylan, something we've talked about a little bit going into the playoffs as well is they've switched the first round of the playoffs in terms of the formatting, we believe at least.
Yeah, so from what we've heard, it went from a best out of 5 series to a best out of 7 series. They're going back to this best out of 7 format for the first round.
Here is the first pitch of the inning. That one just inside, so it's ball 1 here.
Ethan Moen leads things off. He got hit by a pitch his last time up.
Higuera to the plate here. This one fouled back straight into the screen. It's even at ones now.
Prior to Moen getting hit by the pitch, he was not hitting Julian Higuera. He was late on everything, and then unfortunately a breaking ball ran in too far and got him.
So here's the look from Higuera. Ambrose sets up. The pitch is in the dirt, a little bit low, and it's now moved to a 2-ball, 1-strike count. The Majors in this game now leading 4-1, a lead for Higuera on the mound. Pitch hit over Arteaga. He's on a hop. The throw in time as Gormley makes the catch at first to complete the out, and the first out here of the top of the 4th inning.
Good play there by Carlos Arteaga. He's such a great defender over at shortstop. Waited for that ball to get to him and fired a strike over to Kyle Gormley at first for the first out of the inning.
So it will be Darius Barles now to the plate. 1 out in the top of the 4th inning, and the Royals looking to get those runs back that they just gave up. The Majors have scored in every inning so far, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and then 2 in the bottom half of the 3rd. Pitch to the plate, squares on a drag bunt there, but it's going to be right through for a strike to start the at-bat.
Although he did square around to bunt there, Darius Barles had the same fate that our last victim did, and he grounded out to Carlos Arteaga in his first at-bat.
So 0-1 here. Look to the plate, and that one's hit on the ground. It's a base hit as it finds the hole there. So Barles will reach with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning.
Just a perfectly placed hit there by Darius Barles, finding a hole, and he hit it there and got it between the third baseman and shortstop. So the Guelph Royals have a runner with 1 out.
So now it will be back to the top of the order, the shortstop Kyle Cush, who will come to the plate with a runner on. He'll look to at least get on base here for the dangerous power bats of the order. For the Royals, first pitch is there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Cush had a great at-bat to lead off the ball game and worked a walk to get on base, didn't score, and then grounded out to first base his last time up.
That one moves the count to 0-2 now. So a good job by Higuera, and now he'll look to go for the punch out on 0-2. Leg kick, delivery, swing, and a miss there. A big punch out for Juliandre Higuera, and 2 outs now in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Higuera is just 1 out away now from getting out of this inning, hopefully avoiding the big power bats in the lineup. It's his second strikeout of the game, a little bit of a slower pace than we've seen from him in the past. But you know what? 2 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings is nothing to slouch at, and he's got a shot to get out of this one without allowing a run.
So he'll face off against Ethan Hammond now. Darius Barles is on first. The first pitch there is across for a strike on the outer edge, and it's 0-1. That one swung on and missed. So Higuera working well here, 0-2. We'll see if he goes for the punch out again. An 0-2 count with 2 outs in the inning. Outside set up for Ambrose. The pitch in the dirt. Not going anywhere at first base is Barles, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, the Majors are lucky that Barles didn't try to do anything there because he has speed. He tried to lay down the bunt, didn't work. I don't think he really got a good look at where that pitch was. Behind Kyle Gormley, possibly. Behind behind the left-handed batter at the dish, so he didn't move up, and now he's still over at first base. The force is still in order at second.
1-2 delivery. That one's in the dirt, blocked up by Ambrose. He'll keep the runner where he is, and it's 2-2. So another 2-2. Pardon me, the first 2-2, but another 2-strike pitch. Even at 2. Ambrose sets up the pitch to play. Swing and a miss there. Higuera works his way out of the 4th inning with a punch-out, his 3rd of the game. And a great job to work out of it by Juliandre Higuera.
Great job there by Higgy, getting 2 strikeouts to end the inning, even with a runner on base. He always does a great job of working out of trouble, and has just allowed the 1 run through 4 complete innings.
A great job by the Majors. They'll come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th when we come back. Welcome back to Labatt Park here. Steve Froese will lead things off for the Majors here in the bottom of the 4th inning, who are staked to a 4-1 lead, thanks in part to the bats coming alive through the first 3 innings. Pitch from Yambatis here. Froese hits that one on the ground, but it'll be foul towards third base.
Steve Froese grounded out to Angel Villalona in his first at-bat for the first out of that inning, and he will look to avoid doing so here.
Pitch, that one just out as Froese checks his swing, but it's now 1-1. Pitch here is inside to Froese.
Even with the 4 runs allowed and his team being down, Junior Yambatis on the mound has not slowed down in his tempo at all.
Whatever he's comfortable with, as he looks comfortable there, as that one catches the outer edge. It's 2-2.
With the 4 runs allowed, there is still no action in the Guelph Royals bullpen.
Pitch here, checks his swing, but they're going to say he went around. And it's a strikeout here to start the bottom of the 4th inning for Junior Yambatis.
You know what, Junior Yambatis has good off-speed stuff. We just haven't seen it play to its fullest potential in this ball game so far. And right there, we did see that, and it worked well for him, getting the strikeout of Steve Froese.
So Carlos Arteaga will come to the plate here with an out in the bottom of the 4th inning, which signifies that we are back to the top of the order here for the Majors. Yambatis delivers to Arteaga. It's right there for a strike. 0-1.
Carlos in the ball game, 1 for 2 with a single in that 3rd inning.
So the 0-2 now from Yambatis. That one off speed just in. And judging by his reaction on the mound, he thought that he might have caught the inner edge.
I'm being honest, no, I thought it got the inner edge up here, but good eye by Carlos.
1-2 delivery, swing and a miss there into the glove. And it's quick back-to-back outs here on strikeout to start the inning for Yambatis.
You know what? The Majors had their first strikeout of the ball game in the last inning, and that strikeout was Yuki Yasuda, and it was looking. But here they've had 2 strikeouts swinging, so clearly Yambatis stuff is working much better than it was earlier on in the game, and you don't want it to come around at all. But if you do let it come around, it's good that you have runs on the board.
So now Ismael Pena will come to bat, although he'll have to do so with nobody on and 2 outs in the inning. That one's inside and it hits Pena. So on the first pitch of the at-bat, the fastball comes inside and drills Izzy. So he'll head down to first base with 2 outs, and it will extend the inning for now the big man, Cleveland Brownlee.
Yeah, we've seen Cleveland, the big man, as you mentioned, take Guelph's big man deep on a fastball to dead center field. We'll see how he fares here in this AB as Izzy Pena is shaking it off at first base. Looked like he got hit right in the knee, and that's never a fun place to get hit. He's shaking it off with first base coach Josh Williams right now.
So Cleveland Brownlee now in the bottom of the 4th inning. Comes to the plate and looking for more. Of course, got the party started for London in the bottom of the 1st inning. That pitch just outside as Brownlee holds up. And it's 1-0.
If there's a time you want to be facing Cleveland, it's with 2 outs.
Although not with a runner on. Here's the pitch. Brownlee chops that one over to second. I'll make the throw over. Brownlee is retired, and we are through 4 complete. Here in London, the Majors hold on to that 4-1 lead in the 5th inning when we return here on Majors TV.
Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com.
Welcome back to Labatt Park here for the top of the 5th inning. As Juliandre Higuera is back out there and looking good so far through 4 complete. Of course, his Majors have staked him to a 4-1 lead as the bats have came alive there. The only inning they haven't scored a run was last at bat, and now they'll look to try and keep the bat silenced here for Guelph. It'll be Sean Riley to lead things off.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough to keep the bat silenced as he has to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Sean Riley, Angel Villalona, and Justin Interessano, the 3 best hitters in this Guelph lineup.
And one part of the lineup where he has to face a couple of righties as well. And 2 of the best right-handed hitters on the team, some of the best in the IBL as well.
Yeah, back-to-back righties, and like you mentioned, Noah, 2 of the best on the team and 2 of the best in the IBL.
First pitch here swung on and missed from Riley. And looks like Ambrose took that ball off the dirt and maybe up into the arm.
A bit of a cross up there. Didn't seem like Mike Ambrose was ready for that pitch. He seemed to have to dive his glove down a little bit. And he got hit, looked like in the leg, maybe in the arm.
Ambrose had problems with his hand and his arm earlier on, a week or so ago. Had to leave the game, so we'll see if he's okay here.
As a catcher, I know how much it can hurt to get a ball off that bare hand, and hopefully he's okay.
And as a pitcher, I thank every catcher out there. It is a tireless job. Someone's got to do it, and Ambrose looks like he's ready to go. It's an 0-1 count here on Sean Riley. Off-speed pitch, that one just up, doesn't get the call. So it moves to 1-1.
That pitch looked good, but it looked like it did come in just above the belt of Sean Riley, making it a ball.
Higuera looks here, grabs his sign. It's a 1-1 count. That one swung on and missed. A monster cut from Sean Riley, but it moves to 1-2.
Sean Riley wasn't just looking to hit that one in the river. He was looking to hit that one off the apartment building back behind Labatt Park. He took a huge cut at that breaking ball there and just missed it.
So the 1-2. Here's the look. That one swung on and missed. Riley swings right through the heater from Higuera, his fourth of the game, and the first out here in the top of the fifth.
We were talking how Julio Higuera didn't have as many strikeouts as we're used to in the early parts of the game, but he has struck out 3 straight batters, and it's no small feat. It's the top of the order that he struck out so far. 1, 2, and 3 have all gone down on strikes. All have gone down swinging. That one, Julio Higuera just blew right past Sean Riley.
So now he'll have to face another tough bat here for the Royals on Hal Villalona. Quite the story for this guy. Here is the first pitch. That one is right there for a strike, 0-1. With the 0-1 now. Higuera, leg kick into the plate here. That one's low. So it evens the count up at 1-1 here on Villalona. Has a look. Now to the plate. This one's fouled off. Takes a bounce over towards Guelph's dugout. Nonetheless, it is a 1-2 count here. And Higuera will look for his 4th straight punch-out. Number 5 at 1-2 on the game. Leg kick to the plate here. That one just out. Higuera thought that he might have caught the edge, but it wasn't quite there, and it's now even at 2.
Villalona in his last 2 at-bats, after squaring one up in his first one, he's been missing the target a little bit, trying to hit that ball hard up the middle.
2-2 delivery. Pitch to the plate. This one's hit on the ground. Ortega's going to have to come up. It's froze across from third. Strong throw in time to get Villalona at first. Ortega gives him a smile, and it's the second out here at the top of the 5th inning.
You know, as a third baseman, as a former third baseman, cutting in front of the shortstop is a much easier play for you to make than it is for the shortstop. So good job by Steve Froese there, cutting in front and making that play, because it's much easier for the third baseman than the shortstop to make.
Yes, my color man, Dylan here. Third baseman, catcher, he does it all.
7 out of 9 positions this year, Noah. 7 out of 9.
Speaks for itself right there. And now we'll face off against Justin Interessano with a pair of outs here on the top of the 5th inning. Here's the first pitch. It's in the dirt. It'll be ball 1 to start the at-bat.
And Terrasano doesn't get cheated up there, so he won't swing at that pitch.
Higuera's 1-0 delivery now to Interessano. It's off speed. It's called a strike. It evens up at 1-1. The 1-1 delivery, that one outside. As Ambrose makes the grab just off the plate, so it moves to 2-1.
The two balls that Higuera has thrown to Interessano have both been low, one low and in, the other low and out. Maybe something he's got to quickly fix there.
Here is the 2-1 delivery. That one, looked like it caught the zone, but doesn't get the call. And it moves to a 3-1 count.
That's kind of one where umpires will usually lean over and say, missed that one, because that looked like a strike to everyone in the ballpark, including us up here. But human error, so 3 balls and 1 strike is now the count.
Well, it's 3-1 now, and Higuera has to come right at. He does. It's fouled off. So it will be a full count with 2 outs now here in the top of the 5th inning.
Huge pitch coming up, full count, 2 out, and a very good hitter at the plate in Justin Interessano. Lefty on lefty matchup. Tends to favor Higuera, but we'll see what happens.
Fans trying to get behind Higuera here. A good crowd at Labatt on this Friday night. The full count pitch to the plate. Swing and fouled off into Ambrose, who's having a rough night behind the dish.
He gets up, shakes it off a little bit, jogs around, making sure he's all okay.
So we'll have to redo the full count pitch. And Terrasano is trying his best to stay alive and get on base. Higuera looking to get through his 5th inning here in the ball game. It's a full count, 3-2. Punch out already in the inning for Higuera, who's got 4 so far tonight. The 3-2 delivery, off speed, up high, and it will be a walk. A 2-out walk for Interessano. We'll put a runner on for Guelph.
2 outs is probably the worst time you can walk a guy, minus having the bases loaded, but 2-out walks are not great for any pitcher. You're very close to getting out of the inning, and unfortunately, Higuera just walked Interessano there, so Guelph has a base runner. Matt Schmidt coming up to the dish. In the ball game, Schmidt is 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single.
First pitch is missing, so it's 1-0. Higuera looking like he's trying to come right at here, but running into some trouble, getting calls. The 1-0 delivery, swing, and a miss there. Evens it up at 1-1. The look here, inside, and it hits him. So Higuera hits a batter here, and he'll put runners at first and second now with 2 outs as he runs into a little bit of trouble.
That's the 3rd batter Juliandro Higuera has hit in the ball game, and it seems that Higuera doesn't have as much control of his pitches as he usually does. He hasn't run into much trouble yet, only the 1 run on the board, but that is the 3rd batter he's hit, and eventually that will come back to bite you.
You mentioned the 3 batters hit tonight. Some walks as well for Higuera, as that one misses low. 1-0.
Obviously, when you miss your spot, you don't want to miss over the plate, but Juliandro Higuera has been missing too many times out of the zone.
Delivery, that one is across for a strike as he works his way back in.
Now, in fairness to Juliandro, he very well could have had a strikeout of Justin Interessano, but didn't get the call he wanted on strike 2.
The look now, the 1-1. This one is
fought off. Left field, Pena in, sliding, makes the catch. Pena bails out Higuera here in the top of the 5th inning on a sliding grab in left. And it keeps the Royals to 1 run on the board through 5 at-bats.
Great play by Izzy Pena there, charging in hard. He made the catch and then went tumbling down to the ground, held onto the ball for the 3rd out of the inning, and he certainly helped out his pitcher there.
So a great job by Pena to bail out Higuera, but Higuera has pitched well so far. He is through 5 innings for himself. The Majors get set to bat in the bottom of the 5th when we come back. Welcome back to Labatt Park now, as Byron Reichstein will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Majors, who are leading this game 4-1.
The Majors had a very good streak snapped last inning. They had scored in every one of the previous innings, but did not score in the bottom of the 4th. They look to bounce back here.
First pitch, swing and a miss from Reichstein. It's 0-1.
Seems that Jan Baptiste's off-speed stuff has come around.
This one to Reichstein misses, so the count will even up at 1-1. That one called a strike here on Reichstein. So the count is 1-2 now. Here's the look, outside and high. Crowd trying to start a Let's Go Majors chant, get the rest of the crowd into it here. That one hit on the ground, Reichstein to second base, down the line fast but not in time, as it is a ground out to second to start the bottom of the 5th here.
Yeah, Byron just seemed to be early on that one. Tried to pull a pitch that was outside and was an off-speed pitch. Rolled over on it, hit it on the ground to second base, and it was a relatively easy play over at second base to retire Byron for the first out of the inning. Mike Ambrose steps up to the dish. In the ball game, he's singled and popped out to the third baseman.
So Ambrose to the dish here. That one's inside, almost hits him. A 1-0 on the Majors catcher. That one looked pretty good, but it's 2-0.
If that ball hit Mike Ambrose, that would have definitely been a rough night for him.
That one will miss, and it's 3-0 here to Mike Ambrose, who's looking to get on base with an out to start the bottom of the fifth. Yambatis to the plate here. That one's going to be a strike as it's a cross.
Why swing after he threw 3 straight balls that weren't very close?
3-1 is inside, and it's going to be a 5-pitch walk here to Mike Ambrose with an out. So he'll be on first base. Great job by him noticing that Yambatis was struggling with his control a little bit. Held off, and he's on with a 5-pitch walk.
Yeah, interesting to see how Kyle Gormandy fares here against Yambatis, who has been struggling of late with that control. Just to Mike Ambrose, he missed with quite a few pitches, and it was a little bit wild. Interesting to see how he attacks Gormandy.
So Kyle Gormandy now with Ambrose on first base. But big swing and a miss there. Ambrose is going to be caught halfway on what looked like a hit and run. He dives out of the way, but will be tagged. So Ambrose gets picked off. And judging by the swing there, Dylan, definitely a hit and run put in play.
Yeah, for sure. And it obviously wasn't a great pitch to swing at. It was strike one. The hit and run didn't work. Ambrose was caught stealing. I mean, he tried to pull a Matt Schmidt and dodge a tag, but he, just like Matt, was unable to do so.
Awfully tough to do so. Here is the pitch. That one swung on a miss from Gormandy, so quickly 0-2.
He was pulling off that ball big time right now. It happened on the first pitch, and obviously that was a hit and run, but that one right there he pulled off as well.
That one is outside. It's 1-2. That one low in the dirt. Goes to 2-2 now, and Dylan, it looks like the miracle streak might be over for the Hamilton Cardinals as well. The out-of-town scoreboard shows they are down 9-1 to the Kitchener Panthers.
Well, you knew it was going to come to an end at some point, and unfortunately for them, it came against Kitchener.
That one is fouled off and looked like it hit off the hand of the home plate umpire there, who was shaking that off, and they'll go out there and have a little talk on the mound just to give the umpire some time.
Well, we got a chance. Let's recognize that great streak by the Hamilton Cardinals, 8 games, and it's never easy to face Barrie and Kitchener on back-to-back nights, so it was likely that the win streak was going to come to an end.
And now we should mention, not over yet, but down 9-1 to Kitchener. It looks like it may be done. 9-1 is the score in the top of the inning there at Bernie Arbor Stadium in Brantford. The Toronto Maple Leafs lead the Red Sox in the top of the 4th inning by a score of 7-3.
In the MLB, the Jays are down 3-1 against the Rays, and the Tigers play at 10 o'clock in Seattle.
There is your out-of-town score update. Gormandy set here for the 2-2 delivery. Looks to the plate. Gormandy hits that one. Left center field, tracking it down, and it is caught. So a fly out there will end the bottom of the 5th inning. And we will go to the 6th here at Labatt Park. Dylan Baker on the call when we return here on Majors TV.
Chances are, if you've been out to a London Majors game this season, then you've noticed all the advertisements around the field. If you're wondering how you can get your business involved, then reach out to us and we can put you in touch with Angela at angela@londonmajors.com. We can help you find innovative ways to help your business grow with the London Majors.
Welcome back to Majors Baseball. Welcome back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV. Dylan Baker here with you. Calling the 6th and the 7th innings at Labatt Park, top of the 6th. Ethan Moen stepping up to the dish. So far in the ballgame, he's been hit by a pitch and has grounded out to the shortstop. Juliandre Higuera still on the mound, ready to get his 6th inning underway. We see Braden Farrington standing up and playing a little bit of catch in that Majors bullpen. Higuera ready to fire his first offering in the 6th inning. Moen drives that one, but foul. Count moves to 0-1. The Majors so far in the ballgame have 4 runs on 7 hits with 1 error. The Royals have 1 run on 5 hits with 2 errors in the ballgame. Higuera ready to fire the 0-1. That's up and in on Moen. Count moves to 1-1 now. Moen, the Royals left fielder in the ballgame. The pitch on the ground to third. Froze scoops it up. Fires over to first. A nice stretch by Kyle Gormady. Gets Ethan Moen for the first out of this top of the 6th inning. That will bring up Darius Barlas. One out here in the top of the 6th inning. Barlas steps up to the dish, having singled and grounded out to the shortstop in 2 previous at-bats. Higuera ready to fire his first pitch home. And it misses low and away. Count moves to 1-0. Top of the 6th inning. A beautiful night for baseball at Labatt Park. Pitch is swung on and missed. A big cut there by Barlas. Count moves to 1-1 strike now. Higuera ready, the 1-1. That just misses a little bit low, and the count moves to 2-1 strike now. The 2-1. Popped up. That's going to hook foul onto the warning track and bounces into the bleachers. Pena couldn't run it down. 2-2. Darius Barlas taking his time to get back to the plate, catching his breath. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. To the Royals' second baseman. Here's the pitch. Barlas lines that one back at the screen, foul. Count will remain at 2 strikes now.
A great job by Barlas battling with 2 strikes as well.
2 foul balls in a row. Count is 2-2. Higuera ready to fire. The pitch swung on and missed on a putrid swing there from Barlas. He was fooled by that pitch. 2 away, the 5th strikeout for Juliandre Higuera in the ball game. That means free wings for every fan in attendance. So good news for them. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning is good news for Higuera and the Majors.
And Dylan, a little bit later in the game that we're used to seeing Higuera get to that 5 strikeout marker here in the 6th inning, but nonetheless he is there. And he's looking good here so far through 5 2/3. That's his 5th. And he'll look to continue here through the Guelph Royals lineup.
He'll look to continue mowing hitters down, and like you mentioned, that is a little bit later for his 5th strikeout as Kyle Kush squares around to bunt as the first pitch misses high. Ambrose thought maybe he made an attempt at the ball, or maybe that it was even in the strike zone. Didn't get the call he wanted. Count is 1-0.
And the top of the order here, the most dangerous part of the order, of course, for Guelph, but
on the ground by Kush to Yasuda at second base. Throw over to first, and Juliandre Higuera is through 6 complete innings of 1-run ball. It's been a masterful performance for him as we head to the bottom of the 6th. The Majors are up 4-1. Welcome back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV. Bottom of the 6th inning. Junior Yambadas is still out there on the mound for the Guelph Royals. His club is down by 3.
And Dylan, he really hasn't done that bad of a job out there on the mound. He's through 5 innings himself, coming into the 6th inning now, and he's only given up 4 runs. It's not that bad of a start. His team just hasn't been able to get really any runs across. They've just got 1 through 6 complete at-bats now. But he hasn't pitched that bad himself.
No, he is not, as the first pitch to Yuki is a called strike, and it's obviously very tough to score runs against an arm like Juliandre Higuera, and the Guelph Royals have shown that so far. Yuki drives that one to left field and deep. Back it goes to the warning track, to the wall, and that ball is gone! Yuki Yasuda goes deep for his first home run as a London Major, and the Majors extend their lead to 5-1 now.
Unbelievable from Yuki Yasuda. Dylan, me and you have talked about this off camera countless times. Do you think Yuki Yasuda is going to hit a home run in the regular season? I said yes, there it is. He's just got that unbelievable bat speed, and he can turn around on anything, and he shows it there. His first home run as a London Major comes here and gives the Majors a 5-1 lead.
Great job there by Yuki. He destroyed that ball to left center field for the Majors' 5th run of the ball game. First pitch to Miles Miller is inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Miller also a guy there that we've talked about. He's can put good contact on the ball.
The 1-0. Miller lines it into the parking lot foul. So make it 2 fans that'll have surprises waiting for them. 1-1 to the Major center field of the pitch. That is outside. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike now.
Miller, of course, the speedster would love to just try and find something in the gap here. Create runs his way.
Yeah, for sure. Miller gets on base and scores runs with his speed as that pitch misses off the outside corner. Count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, Miller drives that one to center field. Moving on red hard is Hammond. That one's going to be dropped. Hammond made a great effort out in center field, almost came up with the ball, and it might have hit him in the face. Not too sure. Could have got his glove, could have got his face, but Miller is aboard nonetheless, and the Majors have a base runner with nobody out.
And Miller was upset when he made contact with that one, Dylan. We saw him throw the bat into the ground, but that ball dropped right in the middle there, dead man's land, and no one could get to it. Nice play by the center fielder, as you mentioned, coming on. Just looked like, I think, like you mentioned, I think that might have hit off his face, but nonetheless, it's going to be a runner on with nobody out here for the Majors.
Yeah, runner on, nobody out. Steve Froze at the dish. Froze has grounded out and struck out in 2 prior at-bats. The pitch from Yambadas is on the ground. It's a bunt. Yambadas scoops it up, fires to first. A strike in time to get Froze, but that will allow Miles Miller to move up to second base with ease. The Majors have a runner in scoring position.
And a good bunt and a good call on the bunt there by the Majors. Froze lays it down perfectly, but I want to highlight the defense by Yambadas on that one. It is really a tougher play than it looks. Coming off the mound, getting your feet set, picking the ball up perfectly, and then like you mentioned, Dylan, throwing a strike to first base. Everything went well for Yambadas there, and he gets the first out here of the inning.
Yeah, everything went well for Yambadas, and everything went well going back to Yuki Yasuda's home run. It was his first as a Major, and everyone was out of the dugout cheering for him. He is beloved by fans and teammates. Just a great guy. Carlos Artiega, another great guy, steps up into the box, and he takes that one just inside. Count is 1-0 to him.
Now, Carlos will look to bring in that run if he can.
That one is on the ground to second. Throw over to first is in time to get Carlos. For the second out of the inning, Miles will move up to third.
So moves the runner over. So that bat is productive, but knowing Carlos, he'd love to at least try to find the outfield there to bring the run in. He'll have to leave it up to Izzy Pena now. The chance to score this run.
Pena steps up to the dish. He is grounded out and singled in 2 at-bats, and if he singles here, he should be able to score Miles Miller. The pitch, and Pena drives that one to left field. Moving over to the left fielder, and the catch is made to retire the side. But the Majors get a home run from Yuki Yasuda. And as you mentioned, a ton of bat speed there is likely what got Yuki to hit that one out. So we've played 6 complete innings at Labatt Park. The Majors lead it 5-1 as we head to break.
Chances are, if you've been out to a London Majors game this season, then you've noticed all the advertisements around the field. If you're wondering how you can get your business involved, then reach out to us and we can put you in touch with Angela at angela@londonmajors.com. We can help you find innovative ways to help your business grow with the London Majors. Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com.
Welcome back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV. Top of the 7th inning here as Juliandre Higuera is back out for another inning. He's got a 4-run lead to work with now as we see John Fitzsimmons up in the Majors bullpen. Higuera's been really good, hasn't he, Noah?
Higuera has been good, and I'm going to be honest, Dylan, I'm a little bit surprised to see Fitzsimmons up in the bullpen with the 5-1 lead. I thought that they might even try to get through this whole game with Higuera or maybe give someone else who needs a few innings some time on the mound there, but if they're going to look for wins, they're going to look to shut down any chance they can, and John Fitzsimmons is the perfect guy for that.
Yeah, we've seen him have 6-out saves in the past, but not in 4-run leads. As the first pitch from Juliandre Higuera misses inside to Ethan Hammond. Count is 1-0.
And we've seen Higuera increasingly over the innings work to the inside of the plate. He does a good job at it, especially in the heart of the order.
Yes, he does. Number 2 batter here is Hammond. He drives that one foul. The surprise count, the present count, is now at 3. The pitch from Higuera, the 1-1, is in the air. Foul territory. Froze chasing after it. Is he going to get there? He will get there, but it will hit off his glove or he'll just miss it and lands as a foul ball. Looks like he overran that ball a bit.
Yeah, great job by Froze getting there, and like you mentioned, it was a long way to come for him, and then he comes over. It was just out of view of the camera there, but he was right in front of the Majors dugout there, so you got concrete steps, you got seats there, you got a whole lot of stuff going on, and I think that's just what caused Froze to miss that ball entirely, because like you mentioned, he was right there.
Yeah, he almost made the play. Unfortunately, he did not. The pitch is on the ground to first. Gormandy scoops it up. Will he flip to Higuera? He will. And it will be just in time to get Ethan Hammond, who was running pretty hard there. Close play, but there is the first out of the inning.
And a great job there, practicing the PFPs as they do. Higuera gets over in good time, and it looked a lot closer than it was because Higuera got there quickly and had some time to work once he was in the first base area. So a great job by him. Gormandy knew he was there, makes the easy shovel over for the first out here at the top of the 7th.
And that will bring up Sean Riley, and luckily the bases are empty while facing him, so he can't do as much damage as he can when there are runners on. Higuera looks in for the sign from Mike Ambrose. Ready to fire. Pitch on its way. That is, look like it crossed Ambrose up, and it's going to be ball 1. Look like it might have got the zone, but because Ambrose didn't catch it. Oftentimes the umpires won't give you that call.
Especially when it looks like you're getting crossed up, like you mentioned.
Not a great look, but Higuera will look to bounce back. The 1-0 to Sean Riley. That one just misses. That looked like a strike. And the strike zone has been really inconsistent so far throughout the ballgame.
Yeah, that one especially looked like it caught the zone, but doesn't get the call. And when you're facing off against Sean Riley and you throw that fastball, you want to get those calls when they're there.
Here's the pitch. That one misses. 3 balls and no strikes. And we've seen it in the ball game how sometimes it looked like it missed the plate and there'll be a strike call, but other times it looked like it got the plate and it will be a ball. So quite a few missed calls. 3-0, the pitch to Riley. Inside ball 4. So the big man walks with 1 out, and now there's a base runner for Angel Villalona.
And a 4-pitch walk at that. A couple pitches that were around the zone. We mentioned and talked about the one that we thought should have been called a strike, but now Angel Villalona will come on with a runner on. And we see Fitzsimmons continue to warm in the majors pen, although Dylan, to me, still seems a bit early to bring him in.
I don't know, Rup Chanadad's coming out. Looks like he's coming out quickly, though, so he's not going to hook Higuera. They'll probably talk about the game plan to face the big man, Villalona. Although Fitzsimmons looks like he's wrapping things up in the pen, so he could be coming in right now. Rup's talking to him. Higuera doesn't want to come out. You can tell from our view up here.
So he will stay in the game. Although, like you mentioned, Dylan, Fitzsimmons looks like he's ready to go. And how many times have we seen him come in the 7th inning? Not often, I don't think.
Maybe once. But it looked like that was more to ask Higuera how he's doing if he needed a reliever. Gormady and Arteaga are both talking to him out there. 1 out. A ground ball can net you 2 outs here and can get you out of this inning if you're Julian Higuera.
Villalona, as we mentioned already, a few hits in the game.
The first pitch, Villalona takes high, 1 ball, no strike, so that is 4 straight balls, or 5 straight balls, pardon me, from Julian Higuera. 1-0 is the count. That one's low, and it's 2-0 now on Villalona. It's possible Higuera is wearing out a little bit.
Yeah, you look back to those first few innings for Higuera where he had runners on, had to throw a lot of pitches to get the outs. He's only given up 1 run so far, but has had to throw a lot of pitches.
Pitch to Villalona is smoked down the right field line. That's a fair ball. It's going to roll all the way into the corner. Around second, going to third is Riley. Byron picks it up. They're going to hold Riley at third with the arm of Byron Reichstein as the throw goes into second base and they can't get Villalona. So a double moves Sean Riley up to third, and the Royals are pressing here.
So now here comes the question of, with 1 out and 2 runners in scoring position, do you want to go to the bullpen? Do you want to go to Fitzsimmons? If the Royals can push across a run or 2 here, and now here comes, yes, Rup Chanadad, it looks like it'll be the end of the day here for Higuera.
And Higuera is not very happy about it. He is walking away. He wants to talk to his infielders. He's frustrated. He doesn't want to come out of this ball game. But I do think it was the right move for Rup Chanadad, as Angel Villalona just killed that ball and drove it down the right field line. So Higuera's night is done. He thanks Mike Ambrose for a good game, as he will walk back to the dugout. John Fitzsimmons will come in as we have a pitching change.
And it looks like they're going to ask Fitzsimmons to come in and, Dylan, count up the rest of the outs in the game. They're looking to let Fitzsimmons get the last 8 outs of the game, pardon me.
Yeah, and we saw Julian Higuera come in and get a 7-out save. They're going to ask Fitzsimmons to get an 8-out save. So we will be right back with John Fitzsimmons' first pitches and the rest of this top of the 7th inning on Majors TV. Welcome back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV. Top of the 7th inning, John Fitzsimmons coming in to record a long save as the fans are getting into it a little bit later on in this night. Mike Ambrose talking to Yuki Yasuda for defensive alignment to face Justin and Terrasano.
And it's been a long night here as we near 10 o'clock at Labatt Park in the top of the 7th inning. Like you mentioned, Dylan, it's going to have to be a long save now for John Fitzsimmons to come in here, record the last 2 outs. And normally you might not think that he's going to be going for the save, but knowing Fitzsimmons and Roop Cherndad like we know them, Dylan, he's going to be wanting to try and finish this game.
Yeah, for sure. And Roop always asks him, how many pitches do you have in you? He's like, as many as you need me to throw. As that pitch misses inside on Terrasano. 1 ball and no strikes. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, no, this is the first time the Guelph Royals are seeing John Fitzsimmons.
I think so as well. Just the first time here in the late going in the season.
The 1-0. And Terrasano pops that one up foul. Count moves to 1-1 now. Double play is not in order with runners at second and third. 1 out in the inning.
And a great job by Fitzsimmons to work back into it here. Fitzsimmons is a guy, Dylan, that he's got great stuff, but he also is very aggressive on the mound.
That he is. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fitzsimmons sets. And fires. That one misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
And here for Fitzsimmons, obviously you don't want to walk anyone, but you don't necessarily have to go right at Terrasano here with the base open. He's another big bat here for the Royals.
The pitch is just going to miss on the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike now on the Royals' first baseman.
Now on 3-1. Don't expect him to go right at him here.
The 3-1. In the air, left center field and deep. Back goes Pena. He is going to watch it drop. Coming in to score is Riley. Villalona's right behind him. Throw into second is just late. So Justin and Terrasano has a 2 RBI double. And all of a sudden, we've got a ball game.
And that ball was crushed out the opposite way to left center field. And Dylan, don't want to foreshadow anything here, but watch what happens next time. And Terrasano comes up to the dish there because he tossed his bat on that one, and it did not leave the yard. So we'll see what happens there. Nonetheless, he's got a 2 RBI double here, and the Royals are right back in this game.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to start anything with what you do, and he was jogging, and he clearly thought that ball was going to go, and when it didn't, he had to bust it all the way to second base because he was almost thrown out there because he was jogging all the way to first after thinking he had a home run. The first pitch from Fitzsimmons to Matt Schmidt is going to miss. Ball 1, 1-0.
A little bit rattled after that one as he misses outside.
We haven't seen the same control we usually do from John Fitzsimmons. The 1-0. Schmidt lines that one back to the screen and foul. Count as 2 balls and no strikes. Or, pardon me, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fitzsimmons works back into the count here, but he has to continue focusing. Try to work his way for an out here.
The 1-1. And Schmidt swings and misses. The bat goes flying, and it nearly hits Junior Yambatis in the Guelph dugout. That bat was launched by Matt Schmidt. Just launched. It took flight and nearly hit Junior Yambatis, who tried to get out of the way, but he ended up making it worse for himself and almost, or maybe did, get hit by the bat. So Schmidt's going to add a couple hundred extra layers of pine tar after that one, so that doesn't happen again. 1-2 is the count as he swung and missed at that pitch.
Yeah, that was a bat that just went flying there. The good news is that it's 1-2 now for John Fitzsimmons, who will look to try and record an out here if he can.
He has not recorded an out yet. He allowed a 2 RBI double to Interessano. Schmidt down 1-2 in the count as Ambrose calls time. Now it seems like everybody's set. Fitzsimmons ready to fire the 1-2 home. Swing and a miss as he got him with what looked like an off-speed there from John Fitzsimmons. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
And now what's important here for Fitzsimmons is, those 2 runs have already come across Dylan, but to try and just keep that where it is here going into the rest of the game. The Majors have been seeing the ball well tonight. They've scored runs in 4 of the 6 innings they've got to the bat so far, so you got to think that they can at least give you 1 more run in the ball game. If you can just keep this at a 5-3 game.
Yeah, you would certainly hope so. The pitch is a swing and a miss by Keys. 0-1, and boy, that home run by Yuki Yasuda is sure important now.
Especially when it comes from a part of the order you wouldn't expect it from.
The 0-1 home to Brandon Keys is driven into the right center field gap, very shallow, and Yuki Yasuda will make the catch in shallow right center field. So, John Fitzsimmons gets out of it, allowing the 2 runs, but they will both be charged to Juliandre Higuero. We're through 6.5 at Labatt Park, and it is stretch time here. The Majors are up 5-3. Welcome back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV as we head to the top of the 7th inning, or bottom of the 7th inning. Majors are coming up to bat, and heart of the order is due up.
Yeah, the big man, Cleveland Brownlee, will lead things off here. He's had a good night for himself. Went deep and would love to at least try to start this inning here. Try to find himself on base, but Dylan, if you know Cleveland Brownlee like we've got to know him this year, he's looking to do more than that. He's looking to try and extend this lead.
He is, as the first pitch from Junior Buttis is outside for ball 1. Count is 1-0 now on Cleveland. The pitch, that's up and in. Count is now 2 balls and no strikes on the Majors big man.
And now with a 2-0 count, we'll see what they come at Cleveland with. Ever since that long ball in the first, they've seemed to be working him in.
The pitch is going to just miss the outside corner. Count moves to 3 balls and no strikes. A great hitter's count.
But it seems that they're working away from him, Dylan, just making sure he doesn't get anything over the plate.
Does seem that way, as that pitch is going to be a called strike one. Cleveland doesn't like the call, seemed a little bit below the knees, and the fans don't like the call either.
The large crowd here at Labatt giving it to the home plate umpire right now.
And it did look like a ball from up here. The pitch from Yambatis. Cleveland hits that one on the ground hard and through the infield for a base hit. So Cleveland's aboard with a single, and that is his second hit of the ball game. He's got a home run and that single. Maybe we see a pinch runner here. Doesn't look like we will.
Looks like they're going to hold Cleveland out there. A lot of times late in games, done when it looks like it might be Cleveland's last at bat of the game is when they'll pinch run for him, try to exchange it for some speed out there. But with him being the leadoff man and just a single, they're going to hold him out there. He'll have to run for himself at least for now, and we'll get a mound visit, and that will be the end of the night for Junior Yambatis.
Yeah, so Dave Thibault-Horst comes out to take the ball away from his starting pitcher, and we will see a relief pitcher. We will get you who that is, and we will see how he fares against Byron Reichstein when we come back. While we have a chance, we'd like to wish Carlos Arteaga a happy birthday. It has been wished by the London Majors at the park already. And a Blue Jays update. They lost the game to the Tampa Bay Rays by a score of 3-1. An unfortunate loss for the Blue Jays. Seems to be par for the course, though. They're on pace to lose 101 games this season.
Also around the Inter-County Baseball League in Brantford, the Maple Leafs lead the Red Sox by a score of 8-3 in the top of the sixth inning. And the magical streak for the Hamilton Cardinals has come to an end. 10-1 the final score at Bernie Arbor as the Panthers end the streak. But what a run it was for the Cardinals. They'll look to still end the season strong and finish in a high playoff spot.
Yeah, they would love to do that here for better seeding in the playoffs and home field advantage as Byron Reichstein digs into the box in the bottom of the seventh inning. He's got a runner at first in Cleveland Brownlee. That pitch is swung on and missed. A big cut from Byron. Count is 0-1.
And a big cut indeed for Byron Reichstein to fall behind 0-1 here.
Coming set is Evan Kisner, who is, by the way, the new pitcher for the Guelph Royals. That's a called strike. 0-2.
Yeah, Kisner into the game in replace of Yambatis, who's responsible for Cleveland Brownlee at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the seventh inning.
The 0-2. Byron swings and misses a big swing there. And that is the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Mike Ambrose.
And a great job there coming into the game. 3 straight strikes to get the out on Byron Reichstein and get the first out of the inning here. He'll look to try and strand Brownlee at first base and get out of this inning unscathed. But it'll be Mike Ambrose to come up to bat for the Majors now.
Yeah, Mike is having a pretty decent game. I believe he had a hit in his last at-bat. Or he walked in his last at-bat. He was aboard and had a single in his first at-bat. The pitch from Evan Kisner is a called strike one. Ambrose doesn't enjoy it. Count is 0-1.
Ambrose, of course, looking to try and add to his hit total. Some big swings we've seen in the game from him so far.
0-1 to him. And time called. Late time. Not sure who called it, but something was up. Likely Mike Ambrose, as Evan Kisner was in the middle of his delivery.
And interesting there. Looked like Cleveland Brownlee was off. Might have been on a fake steal. But he had a little bit of a grin on his face after time was called.
Maybe someone was spooked by seeing Cleveland running as that pitch misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not a sight you see very often. But now on 1-1, and good count for Michael Ambrose to try and get a pitch he likes.
Kisner would love to bounce back with a strike here. Cleveland's dancing over there at first base. He's got happy feet as that pitch misses up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
And the Royals not overly impressed with Brownlee's antics at first base. He's got a big grin on his face, but the Royals don't like it.
Cleveland's having a whale of a time over there. The 2-1. Mike swings and misses. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
And it looks like Interessano wants to throw down as well. Cleveland's getting a bit further off the base than we normally see him get.
The pitch is going to miss low and away, so the count moves to full on Mike Ambrose, and we've seen Cleveland dancing. Full count, 1 out. Do you start Cleveland here?
I would still say no, but you never know with the majors right now. It's a 2-run lead. Cleveland's getting out there on his leads, though. His secondary is getting him out past the cut of the grass.
He is not running, and Ambrose drives that one to center field. Coming in hard is Ethan Hammond. Out comes the shortstop. He dives, and that ball's going to get down. So another play that ends up in no man's land as Cleveland's able to move up to second base, and Mike Ambrose has another base hit.
And I want to highlight there the fantastic base running by Cleveland Brownlee to notice that ball going into no man's land and had a chance of getting down. Normally on that one, Dylan, you're going to have the runner probably maybe halfway between first and second. But Cleveland Brownlee, knowing that he doesn't run as well, was out there. And as soon as he saw that that might have a chance to drop down, he was on his way to second base.
Great job by Cleveland there, as that'll bring up Kyle Gormandy, who in the ball game has 2 singles. So you had a single and an error in his first at-bat, singled in his second at-bat, and hit a line drive to left field. So he's been seeing the ball really well in this game. All 3 of those at-bats, however, were against Junior Gambadas. And now he has to face Evan Kisner, the pitch. Swing and a miss, big cut there by Gormandy. Count is 0-1.
And for Gormandy here, he's going to look to try and find his way on, maybe try to find a ball in the outfield.
Hopefully score Cleveland from second base. Gormandy takes that one. It's going to be a called strike 2, so the count moves to 0-2 on the Majors' first baseman. Oh, and 2. Kisner looks back at Brownlee, who's still dancing over there. Gormandy on the ground to first, and Terrasano picks it up as that one took a weird bounce off the lip. No chance of turning 2. There are 2 outs now as the runners both move up 90 feet.
And the runners will move up on that one, but Gormandy comes up with a slowly hit ball there that he wanted to get a little bit more of. Now will be a big chance here for Yuki Yasuda, who we saw last time, Dylan. It is first of the year.
Yes, and I don't know if that will happen again, but he certainly drove that one. Kisner comes set. The pitch. That just misses the outside corner, so Yasuda takes one. 1 ball and no strikes now.
Dylan, these pitches looking awfully close off the edge of the plate there.
Yes, but Yuki is a very patient bat as he lines that one hard back at the screen. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike now.
And Yuki seems to be feeling it at the plate. I mean, obviously, with that home run, his last at-bat, you know he's swinging a good stick. But just every at-bat, it looks like he's in it, even when he might be down in the count.
For sure, Yuki in his low stance. The pitch, that's off of the metal screen at the top of the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kisner comes set. 1 ball and 2 strikes the pitch. Curveball, and Yasuda was late on it. He had to fight it off, and he drove that one foul. Sounded like he might have hit the stage back there.
And now a big pitch coming here on 1-2. Pair of outs in the inning.
Kisner sets. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and now he steps off. Time was called by, I believe, Yuki.
And that's one of the things about Yuki. He's a very smart player. And he'll call time when he senses that a pitcher is in a rhythm, just to throw off their timing.
Tremendous baseball mind at the dish right now, the pitch. That's going to get away, and it's going to go all the way to backstop. Cleveland going to bust it for home, and he will score. Cleveland Brownlee with a great read on that pitch, got all the way to the backstop, and he ends up scoring on what could be a pivotal 6th run for the Majors.
Yeah, that one got all the way to the backstop, allowing Cleveland to score, and that one is huge for the Majors. The Royals looking like they were just a strike, a pitch from getting out of this inning. Still down 2. Now we'll have to get back 3 runs in order to keep this game going.
That pitch misses again. Count moves to full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yuki down into his crouch batting stance. The 3-2 home from Kisner with 2 outs. And he fouls it off. Yuki staying alive. Count will remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And Yasuda is fantastic at staying alive on 2 strikes and battling off pitches until he gets one he likes. He's not a guy that'll strike out a whole lot. He'll get his pitch and wait for it.
That pitch is fouled off yet again by Yuki, so he is staying alive in that box. Count is still full with 2 outs. Coming set, Kisner. 3 balls, 2 strikes the pitch. Yuki takes one low, ball 4. So Yasuda walks, as that will bring out Miles Miller with runners at the corners.
And now Miller gets a chance to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Dylan, I talked about Yasuda, his at-bats, how smart he is at the plate, fouling off pitches until he gets one he likes. And that one he just kept fouling off until he got a ball. And he takes his walk, his free pass down there. And there'll be runners on the corners with 2 outs for Miles Miller.
Miles Miller, Mr. Triple, steps up to the dish. And time is called by the catcher. He's going to give some signs to the infield just in case the Majors are thinking of getting a little bit tricky and maybe trying to send Mike Ambrose on a possible steal attempt by Yuki Yasuda. Also could be another way of signaling what pitch is going to be coming, or what pitch he wants Evan Kisner to throw. The pitch is going to hit the outside corner. Miller doesn't like the call. Count is 0-1.
A good job at getting ahead there for Kisner. Yasuda on first has a pretty decent-sized lead on the secondary.
Move over to first very quickly. And Yasuda's back safely. Ambrose took a couple of steps off of third base just to try and get a throw from Interessano, but he did not get one. Coming set, Kisner. Pitch on the way. Up high. Throw down to second. Yasuda is safe there. And the shortstop came cutting across to potentially cut down Mike Ambrose trying to get home, which he did not do. So, Majors now have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs and a 1-on-1 count.
And on that play, the Royals expecting maybe Ambrose to come home. So Yasuda will go in safely.
The pitch. Miles takes a huge swing at that one, pulled his head way off the ball, tried to rip it down that right field line, and he swung and missed. Count is now 1-2. The Let's Go Majors chance have shifted to Let's Go Miller. The pitch. That's up high, and a fake throw over to third base to get Ambrose to run back. The Majors have been showing they're pretty aggressive with their leads in this inning.
Yeah, they certainly have, and Ambrose is getting a fair amount off at third base. We saw the fake throw there. Getting in the head of the pitcher Kisner as well.
as he steps off there. 2-2, big pitch coming up, 2 outs. If he executes this pitch, he could get out of this inning. The pitch from Kisner. Miles hits that one on the ground. Scooped up by Interessano, a little bit of a bobble, but Kisner is there to cover the bag and make the play to retire the side. So we are through 7 complete here at Labatt Park. Noah Smith back at the helm when we come back here on Majors TV.
Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker on the call this evening. And it is the top of the 8th inning. We now have a pitch hitter coming into the ball game here as Riley Perks will get set to bat for Guelph.
Riley Perks will get his first at bat of the ball game. It was supposed to be Ethan Moen, but he is a righty. They don't want the righty facing the righty Fitzsimmons. They go with the lefty to face the Majors power closer.
Nonetheless, it is 8-9-1 for the Royals here. In the top half of the 8th inning, swing and a miss there to start the at-bat, 0-1. As a look in comes to Fitzsimmons to the plate here. That one is a hard fastball on the inner edge, but it's going to miss for ball 1. Fitzsimmons looks now to the plate. That one is called a strike. So it moves the count to 1-2 in favor of Fitzsimmons on the mound.
How many times have we seen that? John Fitzsimmons pitching ahead.
That one is fouled back to the screen. Fitzsimmons working ahead is a theme we have seen all year long and continues to do so here. Has a look now to the plate. That one's outside. As Perks works it back to a 2-2 count.
John Fitzsimmons has been a little bit wild in this outing so far. I know he's only faced 3 batters, but still.
Swing and a miss there. Perks strikes out, and Fitzsimmons has a punch out to start the top of the 8th inning on a beautiful fastball.
Now with the Guelph Royals, we're hoping for off the bench. 1 out now, and Darius Barlas will not get pinch hit for, as he is a lefty bat. He's grounded out, singled, and struck out in 3 prior trips to the plate.
And he'll look to start things for the Royals here in the top of the 8th inning. Down by a score of 6-3 and already 1 out here. Fitzsimmons comes, squares around a bunt, but it is fouled off. Second time in the game we've seen him go for that drag bunt.
Boy, next Guelph Royals practice, they're going to work on bunting, most likely, because there have been quite a few botched bunts here.
A few times earlier in the game we saw some bunts that were popped up, and now that one was looking like a bunt for a base hit. Now he swings. This one hit foul territory. Froze runs over, but it will get out of play. Oh, he almost came up with it. As that ball lands in foul territory, and it will move to 0-2.
Froze almost came up with it, almost hit his teammate sitting on the clubhouse steps. Looked like Froze thought it was going to be into the crowd, but it ended up being right by the Majors clubhouse.
At first thought, I thought the same thing, Dylan. It looked like it was going to make its way into the seats, but it ended up landing just on the folded up tarps by the Majors dugout. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Fitzsimmons to the plate. It's up high, and it will move to 1-2.
Now the lefty bats in the Guelph Royals lineup will certainly help them against the righty.
1-2 to the plate. Swing and a miss there. Another punch out for Fitzsimmons here in the top of the 8th inning. And 2 outs here. An out to go to get through the 8th. Great job by Fitzsimmons.
Yes, that was Fitzsimmons' 3rd strikeout of the ball game, as he got the 2nd out of the last inning on a strikeout, and then the first 2 here with punch outs. Now at the top of the order.
And back to the top of the order here for Guelph. Kyle Cush, who will look to try and get things started with 2 outs. First pitch from Fitzsimmons is up and in for ball 1. As a look now comes to the plate here. This one just missing as well. 2-0.
That one just missed the strike zone, and that inconsistent zone has been frustrating a lot of fans and players in this one.
Fitzsimmons right back to work, though. His 2-0 delivery is going to be right. No, it's going to miss. 3-0 now on 2 pitches that looked pretty close. He'll come out now on the 3-0 delivery. That one right to the plate, called a strike. So it moves it to 3-0. Fitzsimmons continues to work back into the count.
Pretty sure that pitch was called a ball 2 pitches ago.
The leg kick from Fitzsimmons now to the plate here. This one's right across as well. So Coach looks at 2 straight pitches right across the zone, and it's now a full count.
Full count here. We've seen Fitzsimmons use that off-speed pretty successfully for 2 strikeouts in this one. Do you go with it?
We'll see on 3-2. Right there. No call. It is going to be a walk on 3-2. And Cush will reach base. He doesn't lift the bat off his shoulder. And he's on with 2 outs.
I don't know what John Fitzsimmons could have done much better there. It seemed like everything was painting the corners and looked like everything was a strike except for maybe 1 pitch or 2 pitches. But he didn't get a single call. Well, he got 2 in that at-bat, I guess, but not what he was looking for, and now the Royals have a 2-out base runner.
So now Fitzsimmons will have to work through him and now before the big bats come up for Guelph. This one hit in the air, not deep. Pena in. Catch is made, and the side will be retired here on the top of the 8th inning. The Majors get through. Royals don't pick up a run, and we will go to the bottom half of the 8th inning with the Majors set to bat here when we return. Welcome back here to the bottom of the 8th inning at Labatt Park. Steve Froese will lead things off here for the Majors, who will look to push across a couple more insurance runs here before they go to the 9th inning. It'll be Steve Froese to lead things off.
Pros will lead things off here in this bottom of the 8th inning, and they could still use some insurance even though they are up by 3.
First pitch here is up high, and it's ball 1. To the plate here, Froese squares around, bunts it right back to the mound here. Throw is high, and it's over top. Froese will head to 2, but he'll stumble and head back to first base. So an overthrow of first base will lead to a leadoff base runner here for the Majors, and Carlos Arteaga to the dish.
Carlos Arteaga, the leadoff man, will come up to the plate, and that will be an error charge to the pitcher, Evan Kisner, on the mound. So Froese is aboard now with nobody out, and the Majors will look to drive him home. I don't know if Steve Froese stumbled or if he tried to stop and then ended up falling because he saw that ball didn't go as far as he thought it would.
Either way, he's going to be on first base to lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Carlos Arteaga now to the plate. Arteaga squares around, but the first pitch is there as he pulls back, 0-1. Arteaga not known to swing at the first pitch, oftentimes does that square around to pull back. Great job by Kisner to get ahead, 0-1. First pitch, Froese is off, swing, throw down to 2, right on the money, and Froese is retired, trying to steal second base for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, and with Carlos swinging at that pitch, it seemed like a little bit of a late swing, so it's possible that he may have missed a hit and run sign, or Steve was off on the pitch, and he saw that he got a bad jump, so he tried to foul it off to save Steve Froese, but unfortunately, he was thrown out at second base. Now the Majors have one out and nobody on.
Fouled off and to the screen by Arteaga. 0-2 once more. Look, leg kick and delivery to the plate there. Cold strike 3 on the off-speed pitch. Arteaga was guessing fastball there, got the off-speed pitch, and it's the second out here at the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, that was a very good breaking ball from Evan Kisner, who is working out of the windup. One of few relievers that still do that go back to the windup with nobody on base, and that breaking ball was filthy. Looked like it was going to hit Carlos, and then curved right back over the plate for the second out. Izzy Pena at the dish now.
So now Izzy Pena will come and take his swings with a pair of outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th inning. Majors continue to lead by a score of 6-3. First pitch is going to miss for a ball, 1-0.
Clearly the inconsistent strike zone is going both ways, as that one just missed the zone. Looked like it caught it from up here.
There's a look. That one's across for a strike on Pena. Evens it up at 1-1. Kisner right to the plate. That one just off the edge. Doesn't get the call.
Good lively fastball from Evan Kisner, as that one just missed, but it was a hard pitch.
Into his windup. Big leg kick. Into it. Back and inside on Pena. You had to do a little dance to get out of the way there.
Good reflexes on Izzy as the count moves to 3-1. Cleveland on deck. Obviously, you don't want to face him if you're Guelph.
On 3-1 here. You know that the big man's on deck, so gotta imagine Kisner's going to come right at Pena here. Looks, and the 3-1 delivery to the plate is right there. Pena, left field, not deep, in, makes the grab, and it's a fly out to end the bottom of the 8th inning. So the Majors go down quietly here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, they'll look to close the door in the 9th here from Labatt Park and Majors TV.
Are you looking for that perfect birthday gift this summer? Then make sure you visit the London Majors team store located under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. The Major store has lots of different items including t-shirts, game-used jerseys, hoodies, and Collins Majors socks, compliments of Collins clothiers. The Major store also has multiple different styles of London Majors official New Era caps. So make sure you visit us under the grandstand at home games or online at londonmajors.com. Chances are, if you've been out to a London Majors game this season, then you've noticed all the advertisements around the field. If you're wondering how you can get your business involved, then reach out to us and we can put you in touch with Angela at londonmajors.com. We can help you find innovative ways to help your business grow with the London Majors.
Welcome back to the 9th inning here from Labatt Park. Fitzsimmons back out onto the mound, Dylan, and it's going to be an exciting finish to this one. As you mentioned to me off camera, it is the heart of the order here for the Guelph Royals.
It is. It'll be Sean Riley, Angel Villalona, and Justin Interessano due up for these Guelph Royals, and it'll be a fun ending to this one. Close game, been tight all season between these two teams. It is the top of the 9th in the final matchup between these two ball clubs of the 2019 regular season.
Power pitcher in John Fitzsimmons on the mound. We got a lively fastball and a couple power bats due up here for the Royals. First, it will be Sean Riley to lead off the top of the 9th inning. Delivery to the plate here. That one hit on the ground. Shortstop Ortiega's got to come up with a strong throw across the diamond. It's off target, and it will be a leadoff base runner here for the Royals.
Very tough play there for Carlos. Had to throw over Steve Froze, and the throw ended up being high. Kyle Gormady couldn't make a play on it. So the Guelph Royals have a base runner.
So it will be a hit to lead off the top of the 9th inning. And Angel Villalona will be the batter here for Guelph.
Even though that his team is down, he has been their MVP so far in this game because he has 3 hits in 4 at-bats.
An impressive game for him. 3 for 4. You'd love another one here. Swing and a miss, a big cut there. A nice moving pitch from Fitzsimmons. It's 0-1. Has a look, now comes to the plate. This one's in the dirt, picked up by Ambrose. Evens it up at 1.
One ball, one strike. Maybe they start Sean Riley on a hit and run to try and get things moving because Villalona is certainly a double play candidate. But at the same time, you don't want to lose a base runner on base for Villalona, who is also a power bat.
Hit in the air. Ambrose lost it, and it's going to get out of play here over top of the grandstand, but it moves the count to 1-2.
1-2, maybe attack with an off-speed pitch here on Angel Villalona. Hopefully get him off balance. And even though it is an off-speed pitch from John Fitzsimmons, it's not necessarily considered an off-speed pitch by every standard, as it is still very hard.
1-2 delivery to the plate there. That one's fouled straight back as well. So a good battle at the plate here between Villalona and Fitzsimmons on the mound.
The crowd that is still sticking around, pretty good number, still here in the top of the 9th inning, is making some noise.
The 1-2 delivery to the plate here. Swing and a miss. Villalona's down on strikes for the first out of the ninth inning.
So he did go with the off speed, and Villalona was off balance, so they dodge a bullet there, and Villalona strikes out for the first out of the inning. Justin Terrasano with the dish, not out of the woods yet.
Hit that ball a long way his last time up to the plate. And he'll have to try and get on base here for the Royals. Swing and a miss there at a pitch that wasn't his. It's 0-1.
Terrasano's delivered the big blow for the Royals so far in this one. He had the 2 RBI double that got them to 3 runs.
The 0-1 pitch here. Terrasano the batter. Fitzsimmons to the plate. Swing and a miss once more. Quickly 0-2 here on the good bat of Terrasano.
Good to see Fitzsimmons working ahead. He already has 4 strikeouts in the ballgame.
So a big 0-2 pitch coming here. Riley on first. The pitch to Terrasano. That one's in the dirt. Fitzsimmons wastes one, and it's 1-2.
Not a bad time to have a waste pitch there. 0-2. Hoping he would chase. He did not. 1-2 is the count.
Fitzsimmons 1-2 delivery. To the plate. It's inside. Terrasano gets out of the way, but it's an even count at 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes. You got 1 out. A ground ball can get you out of the inning, but John Fitzsimmons is far from a ground ball pitcher. He is more of a power guy that strikes guys out. Interesting to see how he attacks here.
2-2 delivery to the plate. Fitzsimmons, swing and a miss. Another strikeout for John Fitzsimmons, and he's got 2 outs here in the ninth.
Yeah, you know, in Fitzsimmons' previous outings, we didn't really see that off-speed pitch used in such a big way, but tonight he has used that for 3 of his 5 strikeouts, and it's been really great to see because that off-speed pitch has been filthy for him.
So he comes out of the pen to try and get the long save tonight. That's his 5th strikeout. And now he's going to look to try and work through the game. Here's the first pitch. Inside, it hits him. So that one comes inside and hits Schmidt.
And obviously that's not a fun feeling to be hit by a guy with as much velocity as Fitzsimmons has. And you can see a little bit that John Fitzsimmons is starting to tire out just a little bit. He's been in for a while now. He's worked 3 innings or 2 innings already. 2 1/3, pardon me, and he'll look to work 2 2/3 and finish off the ball game.
First pitch here. That one called a strike on the outer edge. Great job at working ahead for Fitzsimmons. That one hit on the ground, up the middle. It's a base hit. They're going to hold Riley at third, but it's bobbled now. So luckily Riley was being held and not taking a hard turn around third base. So the run will have to stay at third, but now the Royals have the tying run on first base with 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, it'll be Riley Perks that steps up to the plate. He pinch hit for Ethan Moen. And a bit of a questionable decision, if you ask me, holding Sean Riley at third base. It looked like even if Miles Miller did not bobble that ball in center field, he would have been safe at the plate. So he could have probably scored, and he definitely would have scored after Miller bobbled that ball. But a bit surprising to see that Sean Riley was held at third base.
So the fans that were out in numbers earlier tonight have dwindled a little bit, but there's still a good showing here at Labatt Park. Pitch swung on and missed. It's 0-1. At its peak, probably a couple thousand, if not more, here at Labatt Park. Now, still likely over 1,000 people here cheering on their majors to try and get back into the win column. The 0-1 delivery from Fitzsimmons to the plate. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
Fitzsimmons is a strike away. Does he go with the off-speed that's been working tonight or with that crazy fastball? Kyle Gorman, pumping up the crowd over at first base, telling them to get on their feet.
Fans standing here at Labatt. It's an 0-2 count. Fitzsimmons to the plate. That one right there. Cold strike 3. Got him looking to end the ball game. And the Majors will hold on to win this one by a final score of 6-3.
Great game. It was close after Justin Terrasano's 2-run double, and great pitching by Julian Higuera had 3 earned runs. But John Fitzsimmons came in and closed the door. He allowed the 2 runs, neither of which were charged to him. Great game overall for the London Majors. The offense rolled around, scored a ton of runs, and it is a 6-3 final. Great ball game here at Labatt Park.
So the Majors will shake up hands with their teammates. It's a big win for the Majors to kickstart the 3 games in 3 days weekend. They head on the road tomorrow to Welland to take on the Welland Jackfish. 1 o'clock start. We'll have that on Majors TV. And then we will go to Hamilton on Sunday to take on the Hamilton Cardinals, who just had their 8-game winning streak snapped tonight. They will be looking for revenge on a Sunday at home at Bernie Arbor Stadium, Carstar Field in Hamilton. That game also on Majors TV. So a big weekend for the London Majors. Dylan, you'll be joining me tomorrow as well. And the Majors will look to continue what they have started here this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Great win here tonight against the Guelph Royals, and they are now in 5th place in the IBL. In line to face the Welland Jackfish, who they will take on tomorrow. Will be a great game, hopefully playoff atmosphere. 2 teams that are battling it out of the standings. A lot can change this weekend.
So potential playoff matchup tomorrow in Welland. We'll have the action at 1 o'clock. Catch us for the pregame show as well. From Welland, myself and Dylan Baker and everyone here in the press box. And for the London Majors, we thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Have a safe and happy Friday.